Who wants to do the recap to try to remember what happened last week? Because I don't.
Hey, we made it to that one city.
You did make it to that one city. The city that you saw.
Something happened, and that's about it. Whoa.
I'm in the wrong map. We made it to Verlassen or Verlasu?
Lawson.
Verlassen. Yes. It's outside of the cold wall and everything, and it's very cold.
It's cold there.
It is. I hate it.
I mean, well, maybe you should put on an extra jacket.
I did. It's not enough.
Well, maybe you should take off your pants and jacket.
I'll work on it.
Just give Karakwa
Thank
my
you.
thing that doesn't impose weather conditions upon them. But
It's true.
That'd be too nice.
Oh, that is something you did do. It was largely a game centered around shopping, talking, maybe
Recruiting
holding hands
allies.
a little bit, recruiting allies to an extent. Met a druid in an antique land.
Oh, she was an antique girl.
You sort of learned a little bit about the infighting between the two Crashing Tide clans, and you bought some stuff. Got a nice like teapot. No, I guess that's the most important magical item he got was the never-ending teapot, Venta.
That's right. It made peppermint coffee.
It does make peppermint mocha coffee.
You can open Starbucks.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
No, it doesn't work if I pour it out.
You can't.
It can't spill.
You can't do it here. They already got a Starbucks.
Damn. They're
They
everywhere.
have a Zaxby's.
No, they don't have a Zaxby's.
That's sad. They have Bojangles?
Everywhere has
it's not.
That's not true.
That's not.
We
St.
must-
Louis does not have those.
You're
We
not.
must bring the biscuit to
You're not far
Stallone.
enough south, unfortunately. So
Yeah, we went back up north. There's
don't-
Tim Hortons.
you don't
here.
have you don't have a Hardee's. You have a Carl's Jr.
Oh no!
Oh,
Yeah.
It's just as bad.
The horror. But that was by and large what happened. You worked out. You decided to start working on the upgrade to your airship, having a teleportation circle sent down to. It's going to be on the lowest level in the cargo bay area. It'll be around right there when it's done. Expansion for crew and stuff like that, and that's pretty much it. It's a lot of talking.
Based.
We do a lot of talking here. A lot of bad talking. Nobody speaks in accents either. Nobody understands.
I understand.
The only person that talks
The
in
accent I speak in is the accent Henley speaks in.
is Beaver.
So I take that back.
Whenever he speaks in German accent.
Wow.
I
cool.
try a shitty British one. It's probably more shitty than the shitty German, but
Guten Tag. Where is
Guten
Herr
Tag,
Wilhelm?
everyone.
Where is Herr Wilhelm?
Buongiorno.
I reckon they don't got many of them there Bojangles in Germany. They call them Boyanglies, I hear. Other than that, it was a bunch of nothing interesting.
Bojangles should sponsor the video next time.
This
No.
video brought to you by Bojangles.
Bojangles, come at 10 o'clock in the morning and get a rock hard Bowberry biscuit.
Yum, my favorite.
Mmm. Come through the drive-thru and ask for chicken supremes. We're out.
Always.
God damn it. Every fucking time.
Every damn time.
Literally every time.
I don't know. Mine's kind of like 80-20 on the Supremes.
Yeah, fuck you.
Hey, we're like on the way to Myrtle Beach. We're in a very prime spot to be supplied for Supremes.
I know, right? It's not fucking fair.
We're literally the last bit of civilization on the way to Myrtle Beach. So yeah, it is your last chance to get Bojangles.
I like how basically the Bojangles up here has their sign that's like, please come work here. Please.
We'll pay you like
Oh,
$20
those
an
are all
hour.
over Florence.
Now hiring any position.
Everywhere is hiring anything. But they don't want to pay you for it, so.
It's amazing what happens when you
You
don't
want
pay.
to do 4 jobs for $7.25 an hour? Better grab those
Bojangles
booty
says
straps.
they'll give you
Peter,
between
don't remind
$13
me
and
of high school.
$19 an
You know,
hour.
that's not fucking very American of you. Want more money for your job. No?
Beaver
How
don't.
dare you?
You should be pitching in.
The American dream.
The American dream is to fucking get paid minimum wage and die underneath a mountain of medical debt. God,
Yep.
Beaver.
You guys know that I found out I could have sued the IRS for calling me for my first tax audit when I was 14 because they're not legally allowed to contact a minor.
Ooh. Tax audits suck.
Fortunately, I didn't find that out until I was 18. So
I've also been tax audited. What about you, Cody? Have you ever been audited on your taxes?
I didn't get to see my 14-year-old tax return until I was like 20.
And so
And
I
by
was a
then,
man.
he was already a man, yeah.
This is a great game, guys. I'll tell you what.
My brain is real scattered as I try to remember what happened last time. I remember you met a druid, but I don't remotely remember that druid's name. I remember you went. I had to listen to the
Got
video
Florida
to
people.
even remember that you went and got the
Mhm.
teapot.
So he got endless coffee. I gave a letter to M to deliver to a moon elf.
Yes, I do
We
have
talked
that.
to a wizard. The wizard guy went and helped put in the teleportation
Wow, you're
circle and
fucking kidding me,
expand the
right?
ship.
I
You're
do have
fucked.
that.
Is Rick okay?
No.
No, that was the stroke.
Okay.
I'm not even that upset.
That happened. Cody talked to some druid that was, from the Crashing Tide. The Crashing Tides are fighting. They were like, "Oh, you might be able to give us some help, Mr. Fire Herald man."
Yeah.
That was pretty much literally what happened.
Beaver talked to that crazy redneck guy that lived out, and so did Ito.
I don't.
Ito duplicated his item, his armor, and gave it to Adelaide.
Yep.
Beaver fished,
Yeah, got the
and
icicle
then got a
eel,
fancy eel.
some stuff.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and the stonefish poison too.
Yeah, stonefish poison.
And then
not
I
fun.
think at the end, there was Lou talking about the wild hunt guy with Rick's character at the end.
So,
And that's
Oh,
all I
yeah,
got.
you're right.
one
I think
thing
we
is,
saved the talk for this week, though.
Connor needed to make up his mind if he wanted that change to the Nova Knight armor or not. He said Connor has to think about it.
Connor decided that he wants to duplicate his armor to give to Adelaide rather than change his own.
Okay.
Fair.
I would say, why would she want that? She'd probably want plate mail.
Because I can't afford plate mail right now.
Cool.
Well, quit being a broke ass bitch.
Damn. Lou's got
I
a
think you
fucking
were
point.
explicitly offered plate mail for the eel, though.
I mean,
As one of
your
yes,
options.
I mean, yeah, if I can get her plate mail, I'll do that.
Yeah,
Assuming it
she's not.
functions.
She's not. I mean, she's dexterous, but not like that. She doesn't fight dexterously. She fights.
Yes, then, I mean, we can do
strong.
plate mail then.
She's probably significantly. She probably has a higher strength stat than Ito does. Damn.
Probably, I don't have high strength.
And she's gonna hog tie you and leave you in the brig.
The dream.
And she's just gonna be like, "Why are you propped up, Ito?" It's like, shit. Damn, erection's holding me up.
Hate it when that happens. Laura! Speaking of erections, could you fill my water up, please? What do you mean, damn, I'm thirsty?
I was like, Laura, I'm starting a Tinder profile. What should I put on it?
I love you. Yeah? Good luck, I love you.
But there was some stuff that still remained to be done. A nice, obviously, there's all happening over the course of a week as the airship gets upgraded, and you sort of decide what exactly you want to do, or where you want to head first. Obviously, you're heading up to the north towards the Three Sisters, the great waterfalls that you believe holds the lair of the three adult white dragons that potentially, by what you believe, from the prophecy, have something to do with this line in the prophecy with the sort of three weeping sisters.
Thank you. I love this.
Along the way, you have obviously options to stop with not just the druids, but also Henley's people and also Aruna's family. So there's a lot of
Oh my
stuff
God.
going on up here.
I've heard
whenever you
lots of good
decide to
things about
embark.
Arunas.
Yeah, well, they're very powerful people. I wish I had done what I had. My original plan was for Aruna's dad to have gone crazy and turned to blood magic, and he like skinned himself, and he wears his own skin as like a robe, and his body is like he's just got muscly sinew underneath.
Jesus!
That's metal as fuck.
That's pretty.
Yeah, let's do that one.
But
I don't even need to hear option 2. Let's go with that one.
But then I decided to go with his sister as being, or her sister as being the one, the Neo.
Oh no.
I'll save that idea for another time. Maybe a more
Neo.
prominent character.
Yeah.
But there's the issue with the druids you have to deal with. There's the issues with Aruna's family. There's being able to meet with Henley, sort of tribe that lives in this region. They're basically like, you know, poor, that sort of thing. Be nice to, you could sail overhead and throw gold down at them. Then there's the dragons, and then of course there is possible talk of, or ideas that there were conversations that still remain to be had in the city itself. You do notice that Ito, despite her increased desire for training, it does not take long for Adelaide to disappear into the city pretty frequently. M is also not anywhere to be seen, as far as you can tell. Lysanthier and Yonduin do a fairly good job of, you know, ushering in the new recruits, the Thrycreen, showing them the ropes, while Nipsey and Carrington every now and then make forays into town to gather supplies they need, but mostly oversee the upgrades to the ship, as you every now and then hear a high-pitched gnome voice rising from the bottom deck saying, "Be careful down there! Don't put a damn hole in the side of the ship! I thought you people were magic!" As she makes sure that everything
What do you
is
mean,
going.
you people?
Don't make me backhand you! Carrington,
They should
backhand
You
Right.
mean you people?
She means the fucking wizard, you fucking idiot.
Oh, my mistake.
You also get all your magical whatever you decided your magical item is. Get it?
And I get mine at the druids, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah, I'm trying to put mine in in D&D Beyond. I don't think it's in D&D Beyond.
I don't know what your magical item is.
I sent you a message.
It's a magical Twinkie wiener sandwich.
It's a
Beaver,
dildo.
Beaver's magical item is just inventing Tinder.
Based.
that's what I forgot to do. I didn't really look at magical items.
Man, I thought that conversation was gonna go a different route.
Blue, I thought you said you were leaving.
I was
He said
thinking about it.
maybe.
I
Zarn better.
am just gonna actually take the money.
Connor's like, I'm in debt.
And I am in debt.
Wow, that was a perfect Connor impression. Holy shit.
You should help him out with that.
Ito's in debt. Vent ain't.
It's the whole Eldoraihan. You gotta help him.
I have hope.
It is true. Like the entire island is basically collateral.
You gotta give him the wacky digits on the front of your credit card, Venta.
It's true.
The expiration date and those three
Those
wonky
three
numbers on the
zany
back.
digits on the back. A helm of underwater action. That should be easy enough to make.
Yes.
Now, with your the magic items are fairly easy to come by. You find yourself a city of this size has got its own fair amount of dealers and enchantments and mystical arts and things like that. So it doesn't take more than like a day or two to suss out these items and sort of bring them to yourself and attune to them and begin breaking them in. You find yourself spending the nights, you know, probably pleasantly out on deck. It's frigidly cold, but at the same time, it's beautifully quiet. The snow gently falling every now and then, the sounds of the nearby city pretty much completely muffled. As the dim lights sort of glow in the distance. They usually keep the lights fairly low in this city. There's something about the tightly packed, squat architecture doesn't seem to let light out. It almost seems to pull in light as if as the snow sort of almost feels like it pulls in the sounds around you. Adelaide comes and goes as she pleases, you find. It seems being this close to civilization has, well, it's been a long time since she's been around a city of reasonable size, and she's more than happy to go out and drink pretty heartily. And while she doesn't necessarily throw her name around, she is still in possession of some, well, charismatic ability and wealth of a much more limited means at this point, but she does have some access to coin.
I would not necessarily be like hounding her, but I would probably at least enter the building that she is in.
She honestly at this point would be whenever you enter the building, she'd be like, are you going to buy me a drink, or am I going to buy you a drink?
I mean, I can buy you a drink.
That's what I like to hear. Whatever's strongest, barkeep. This one's paying for it.
Is there a stage?
Is there a what?
Is there a stage?
Sure. On this particular night, it's been here for about 3 days. Like I said, through your week of being sort of stuck here while all the upgrades are going on. You've seen to gravitate toward what appears to be a tavern right on the edge of the lake. Not quite overlapping onto it where some of these docks run out onto the sort of like spider webs onto the lake, but more like in the warehouse district it would be essentially. It's called the Cuttlefish. It has what appears to be a rather impressively carved opening with what appears to be tentacles of some sort that are wrapped around a door. And at night it is fairly rowdy, quite a bit bawdy as the fishermen and the nearby sailors and traders all gather in, enjoying what appears to be a very, very, well, as far as you can tell, unpleasant but powerful sort of drink called eel mucus. It's a little bit slimy and slick.
Well, is that what Her Holiness is drinking?
The bartender does set down 2 of this eel mucus, and whenever the bartender does so, he sort of smiles a broad, toothless grin as you realize he's missing most of his teeth, but he points to, he sort of nudges you, Ito, and says, "That'll put some hair on your balls and hers."
Based.
like, oh, what? You didn't know she had balls?
She kind of chuckles and says, well, if you play your cards right, maybe you'll get to see them.
Do it.
After
I can
you,
see you moose knuckling from a mile away.
Lord Avendor.
If you better, you might get less debt.
Somehow I doubt that.
Or more.
I like those odds when you put it that way. Yeah, sure, I'll drink it. Am I making a con
Make a
save?
Constitution save.
She gets the benefit of my aura if she's nearby. I got a 21.
Yes. Always bring your paladin friend so you can be less hungover.
What is your aura's bonus?
It's protective aura? Aura of protection. Starting system, creature gains a bonus to saving throws equal to my charisma modifier, which is +4.
She downs it, and there's just a pause where her eyes sort of close slightly. Well, it does go down smooth, doesn't it?
Ugh.
She doesn't seem largely affected by it in a like alcoholic sense, but the general taste and texture of it is very unpleasant. It would burn if it wasn't so distracting just how slimy and goopy it is going down.
That's unpleasant.
Oh.
It's like a White Russian where the milk sat a little too long.
Oh.
It's a White Russian made with yogurt.
Oh no.
It is a strong drink, and you feel, a nice little buzz, warmth that comes to your cheeks as you down it. Even so, she says, but perhaps something a little bit more traditional next time.
Don't let your White Russians ice melt, guys. It's bad.
Ugh. Ugh.
Joke's on
Like
you.
a spiked Gogurt.
You want to have a bad morning. That's how you fucking do it.
I'm gonna go make White Russians with this Boston Lager mixed with milk.
Do it. Right fucking now.
It's like,
Do it.
even, she smiles, and you do notice that she is definitely drawing the eyes of some of the local fishermen. The younger ones, several of them very handsome. She herself is, Adelaide is not a great beauty. She is charismatic, to be sure, but her particular features are not traditionally pretty. Her skin is sort of tan and ruddy. Her nose is hooked, almost like a beak. Well, I've described Adelaide before, so, she's not traditionally pretty, but even so, there's still quite a few eyes on her, and she almost sort of seems to smile and says, it's nice to have someone looking at me besides M and Lincoln. And Aruna, I guess.
You don't want to pursue the Hilda romance line there, Tommy?
Keep me out of this.
I think you've got a couple of eyes on yourself, my lord. As she sort of motions at a couple of rather stocky fisher women.
Hot.
Excellent.
The inn itself is abuzz with chatter. After a little while, one man steps up on a small raised platform, and he plays what appears to be an interesting instrument. Definitely unusual to you, certainly not native towards the Central Plains that you're more familiar with, or the Ile de Royhan. It is a it's like a percussive instrument, but it's chimes essentially. It almost looks like wind chimes, except it's not single bars that sort of run down. It's many different chimes. If you know what I'm saying.
He's playing like the band of chimes.
Kind of. And it's, despite the fact that it seems like it would be not very effective, it is actually surprisingly loud and able to pierce through what is essentially a otherwise uninterruptible crowd.
Can I detect if that's magical in nature?
Sure.
That's just Arcana, right?
Yes, or a detect
Sort of.
magic.
Does I can't use my Ring of Identify unless like I have the item in my possession.
That's right. You have to have it on your person to use it.
Okay, so I got a 7.
You know, it is loud, but you're not really sure if it's enchanted or not. You don't sense any magical, any like magic coming off of it, but it is unusually loud.
You know, I'll wait till he's done, and I'll politely applaud at the end of his set.
Okay. It is like unpleasantly long. That didn't sound right. He takes too long, and it's a little bit more like interpretive than you would want. You know what I'm saying?
Is the
It's
crowd into it?
From what you can tell, not really. It's almost like a beat poet has gotten up on stage with a pair of bongos, and it is not going over very well. As the crowd, they don't boo him or shoo him off the stage, but whenever he takes his bow, there's only a half-hearted.
As I pass him, I say, "Hey man, don't do the immigrant song if you can't hit the high note."
He says, "Fine, you hit the high note."
Colin, play the immigrant song on chimes.
Hit the high note, Connor.
Negative.
Do it. You're criticizing him. You gotta at least try.
I am not a chime playing beat poet.
Weird.
I'm mad. Okay, well.
I will do the chords that I learned from Patrick for my performance check.
Alright, do it.
Is it Wonderwall?
No.
Yeah, you need to make sure you turn off noise suppression.
Turn off noise suppression?
Yeah, or else we won't be able to hear the guitar.
Colin's heard it in the past.
Generally, Discord has noise
It will
suppression.
cut
on.
out a lot.
Yeah.
It looks like it's already off.
Okay. I was just saying, make sure.
Wait for the high note.
Yeah, yep, lost it. That's it. Just those 4 back and forth.
Do it, Connor.
Good shit.
Alright, it did not go well for him. But even so, no, he tries to keep his head up as best as he can, as best could be expected.
Well, you know, you gotta keep your head up, and you can let your hair down.
You
Don't.
Don't do that.
take to the stage and play a couple of half-hearted chords. And you don't play the immigrant song. Boo you.
That's
Alright, you can roll a performance check. You can do it with advantage.
That is a 21.
I boo Connor because he doesn't play the immigrant song.
Yeah, whenever you're done, the bar guy goes up, pats you on the back, says, "Hey, if you can't hit the high note in the immigrant song, you know, how do you like it?"
It's just generally good advice, yeah?
Your
Connor's only got a plus 9 to
performance.
Colin and I fucking,
is-
or not Colin, it was Ryan and I. Ryan and I heard that across the street in Wilmington one night. It was awful.
Oh god. Your performance is met much more warmly, as it is a slightly more traditional performance. The songs you sing are probably not particularly familiar here. That's probably got its own local shanties and things like that. Even so, it's played well and it catches the eye of many of the people, especially those two fisherwomen who smile broadly at you.
Oh my god.
Lifting
Are they
their
named
hands
Tuna
up,
and
waving
Fish?
their handkerchiefs.
My mother told me.
Adelaide sort of lifts a standard ale this time to you, smiling a little bit broadly, nodding her head. You pass the night together. Not like that. But Adelaide's been working hard. It's nice for her to get out, essentially. As she probably drinks a little bit too much. But it is what it is. Would you like to do anything else in this bar?
Not that I can think of. Lou, you good?
Yep, just one of those random. Like I said, it comes out of nowhere. I move the wrong muscle, and all of a sudden, I just get a stabbing pain in my side.
It's not in your is it in your lower back region of your
Like-
side?
Right here.
Okay. I was gonna say, man, because if it's like lower than that might be your kidneys, buddy.
Oh, as long as you didn't collapse along.
And I'm pretty sure I either like bruised a muscle or something, or whatever. It was just while moving a printer, so just waiting for it to clear up.
Good for you. It'll clear up in time. Alright,
That's it for me.
okay. Would anybody else like to do anything?
Nope.
Alright.
Pretty much stayed overseeing the stuff.
Alright. You find yourself passing the time, whiling the days away. M comes back after a couple of days, a broad smile on his face. At first you don't recognize him, as the eyes seem to take the appearance of a grizzled old fisherman. You know, that fisherman, like that guy that's on the box of fish sticks.
Oddly specific, but okay.
Kanye?
He has a broad smile on his face when he returns, shaking his head. It's a hell of a town, that's for damn sure. But he doesn't really say anything to you before you see him just go to his room and collapse on his bed, lying face down and quickly falling asleep. After the week or so, you head down to the lowest level, the bottom deck, and find that the work's done. There's a nice, new, glowing arcane circle sitting there prominently. The animals initially seemed to squawk at it a little bit, but have already grown accustomed to it. There's a very faint hum in the air, and it seems to sizzle and crackle with magic. You did it. Now you can teleport
Yay.
around.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna take us right to Ertzig and end up in some rubble. That sounds real good, right?
Good idea.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, I'll just teleport Ito to Ertzig. That'll be fine.
Right. Is there anything?
I have no
Yeah.
I have no problem with being teleported inwards.
You get teleported right into Bismarck's butthole.
The Thanos defense.
I don't think you're gonna be able to expand and break that one.
Oh, no. He could turn into like a T-Rex or something.
I
Connor
Connor
can.
can. Haruda can. I guess both could go in there. Joke's on you. That's when he transforms into a double-sized dragon.
Oh my god.
Or you wait until he polymorphs himself into a person, but he doesn't polymorph you because you're in his butthole, and then you kill him. You just have to wait him out.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Just be like secret message from inside the butthole. Just be like, "Hey man, wouldn't it be funny if you turned into a person right now?"
Or a gnome.
Bruce, you work with Lincoln to make that stonefish poison, obviously.
Word.
That's why you got a poisoner on board.
Did he ever get the poison from the manticore thing I got?
The Manticore Borb.
Yep, that.
Do. Manticore poison. It's in his inventory. It's in his stock.
Did we get something else from him from the manticore that we could have like sold or no?
You got some Manticore stuff, and you got like some teeth to make a necklace or something.
Oh, I did make that necklace.
But the Manticore poison is something you can buy.
How many teeth did I get?
A few. I can't remember exactly.
Would I have to make a necklace for everybody?
Probably not. I mean, I guess if you did like one Manticore tooth.
I mean, that's fine.
probably.
Yeah. I'm gonna put one tooth on each necklace and give them to everybody in the crew.
Now,
Well, us, like the 8 of us or whatever, 7 of us.
What does that do?
Nothing. It just looks cool,
Oh,
and you
It's a
get
trophy.
you get a badass necklace.
Hell yeah, I got a manticore fang necklace.
Exactly.
wait till you find out about the abundance of calorie shells in this town.
I've also put a puka shell on everyone's necklace too, so you have a puka shell and a manticore or a tooth.
Hell yeah.
Sick, bruh.
Something you work on.
Did you know puka shells are native to the Ile de Royham?
Oh my god.
Connor's got a puka shell necklace on.
Does he have a
Oh,
tribal
that
tattoo
explains why
around
you know
his
such a
bowl?
faggot.
It's not chainmail, it's puka shell mail.
Oh,
Jesus
it's like
Christ.
fucking scale mail made of puka
A
shells?
stiff breeze would break that.
Oh.
Hey Adelaide, I got this nice armor for you. It's all made of puka shells. All right.
Puka mail.
Let's see. Anything else? I don't think
Sigma
there's
mail.
anything
You
else
have a
to do in
puka
the
mail.
town. You don't get anything back from, or you don't hear anything back from your message, or it's likely it may have taken a little bit longer than a week to
yeah.
get to him.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so you, I imagine you also were working on something else, Tommy?
If that spell is doable, I will make that spell.
It's part of, your rune crafting stuff to do that.
Okay. So intelligence, smith tools, check, or something like that.
Yes. Look, Mike's playing some game all by himself somewhere.
Intelligence.
For you, Mike.
5, 6, 7, 9. Oh, man, if I fuck this up, it's gonna be real embarrassing. Yeah, 27.
Hey, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Okay.
All right. It's the type of thing that it takes days to work on. It's not something that you just shit out in one night. You have to do a little bit of like testing, but at the end of the day, you do think you have something fairly serviceable.
Okay.
What were you looking for to do? To act like a counterspell?
You had it negate Moonbeam, but I figure if it just eats an entire spell, that might be kind of broken. So probably just like a 3rd level counter spell. If you have to for 3rd
Yeah.
level or higher.
It would-
That seems very sensible.
It would definitely not be like a high level counterspell.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
No, but it might save somebody. Might roll well.
Yeah. You never know. Do you have a particular person you want to give it to, or?
Anybody that has like shield or armor that can be etched.
I have a breastplate that can be etched.
I mean, I've got a shield.
You could try etching it into the skin my armor's made out of.
Is there like a piece of bone he could etch it into? That'd be kind of cool.
I mean,
Yeah,
That just sounds like a tattoo at that point.
I'm covered in bones.
yeah. I mean, if we got travel time, I could it, or I could do it more than once.
What does it do? Sorry,
Uh,
I spaced out a little bit.
So we fought one of Cody's druid friends, and I had put a Sarune protection like rune on someone, and it ate a moon once. So I'm kind of copying that. So it's basically a 3rd level counter spell built onto your.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna say no to that, but I also have quite a lot of stuff.
yeah.
I
mean,
have but the sword.
I mean, whoever. Who's the weakest Babby? Who's got bad saving throws?
You.
That's you, homie.
Not
I
magic.
mean,
Oh yeah. that's
I
My
constantly
throws
find
are
myself
not
under
great.
25%.
yeah, but
I
I
very rarely find myself at more than a quarter health at the end of every fight.
Okay, well, alright, we'll just do this for, it makes sense. Since Alakul and I were doing stuff, I will try it on Alakul. We'll try his shield first.
Just do it.
Okay.
And then if more people want it and it works, we will try it again.
Who want their bussy etched?
Yeah, baby.
I will get my breastplate etched if you are willing to.
Probably something I'll keep pretty limited. So.
Yeah.
So it just negates the first spell, like outright, up to level 3.
It is a 3rd level counter spell, so it'll instantly counter 3rd or below. If it's 3rd or higher, you have to roll.
Is it like a one-time?
Do we trigger it, or is it period?
It is triggered. It is a one-time use.
Like what one-time use ever?
Ever. Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
used, it's gone.
Yep, the rune will just shatter, essentially, and not work.
Fair.
But if you're getting, fucking disintegrated and you happen to roll like a natural 20 and save yourself from getting disintegrated, pretty good.
I mean, it's not bad. It's nice. It's a nice bonus to have. Joke's on you.
Oh
It
no.
backfires and hits you instead.
Hell yeah,
Oh my
dude.
God, I couldn't have foreseen this.
What an
What the-
unexpected turn of circumstance.
The fine line reading is it bounces off of Alakul's shield and homes in on Ito.
Oh man. How
Face.
unforeseen.
Nothing that could be done about it.
I can't
Shame.
believe Alakul parried that spell into Ito.
Colin, can I learn to
I
parry
swear the
spells
gun was
specifically
unloaded.
Ito?
All right.
That's what I want my magic item to be, Colin.
I didn't know that Alakul's last name was Bolton.
That is
Bolton.
what you
Baldwin.
work on. In the city.
Those are different
of
families.
Burleson.
Yeah, whatever.
Yes. Finally, you have a very quick way to transport back to places you've been before, and even down to, I guess, wherever you've got teleportation circles that could be teleported to.
We got the capital and then this town. That's all we got.
You've got it all. everywhere.
I mean,
You
that-
can teleport in the middle of nowhere. Magic.
Those are still like opposite sides of the kingdom, though.
Yeah. Anywhere else would be rubble, so it doesn't help us.
All right, failing anything else to do in the town, it's the Skyweaver rise into the air, resupplied, upgraded, adventure lying before you. As you turn northwards, heading out over the icy waters towards the heart of the Coldwood itself. You sail over the water for a while, but eventually you do see the rocky coast come into view, slightly shrouded in mist. It's cold, bitterly cold, and you actually have to spend quite a bit of time working on the deck, sort of trying to break ice from like the lines that hold the net, or the nets that hold the balloons, and from the railings of the deck. The nights themselves glow faintly with an aurora, mostly. Every now and then blocked out by a sudden frigid snowstorm that passes by in maybe an hour or two. I want everyone to roll a perception check.
Oh my god. Let's see.
Oh shit, my thing's not linked, but it's 14.
29, baby. Holy shit, my fucking thing is lagging.
23.
All 12s all day.
Alright.
I'll tell you if it ever loads my character.
You find yourself,
12.
surprisingly enough, if you got higher than a 16, there are birds that follow you. What appear to be, they almost look like some sort of jay, except they are almost stark white. Save for blue crests. And normally it would not be unusual to have a bird follow you, but it looks like there's several of these birds that have been following you pretty closely now for several days. The same birds as far as you can tell.
That's not ominous at all.
They perch almost lazily on the railings nearby, quietly chirping amongst themselves.
Amongst us.
Every now and then flying up to perch on the ropes that lead up to the balloon, and kind of, you can see they almost seem to peck at them a little bit. Flying up to the balloon itself, and sort of their tiny little feet scrabbling across it as they look at it. You can see that every now and then one flies off, but for the most part these 3 birds follow you for a while.
In Druidic,
Hey yo,
I say, can I help you?
West Side.
Preferably while Karakwa is within earshot.
In my headspace, Druidic is pure jive.
That's racist.
Is it because they're animals?
It is.
Wow.
Thank you for asking.
Whenever
That's
you do
fucking
so, the
racist.
birds all quickly chatter amongst each other and leap into the air, flying around almost like a swarm around each other, circling each other, before the 3 of them dart away in 3 different directions.
Oh my god.
Is that if I approach them at all, or
After
just
you
because I
after you
said
talk to them.
Druidic? Okay, well, I guess we attracted the crashing tide,
It's
Karakwa.
what's her face on the boat too, Colin? With us? She traveling with us, yeah?
Who?
Abigail?
No.
No.
Adelaide?
The-
Yes. Abigail?
No.
The
No.
druid.
The druid
Uh,
from
her-
town.
No, she would have stayed in town.
Okay, I thought like she was gonna come with us and.
She has given up that dream because I forgot what her name was.
Completely understandable.
So, imagine just losing out on a character quest because Colin was so drunk he forgot the fucking NPC who gave it to you.
That's why I got the pencil.
Oh.
I see the pencils helped.
That's why we got the pencil now.
Over here looking like Matt Patricia. I got a pencil in my ear, but I don't write anything down.
I can't. See, I can't even remember what race she was.
Dwarf.
I think she was a dwarf, wasn't she?
She was a dwarf.
He was a dwarf.
You had dwarfs and Goliaths. If
Anyone
we're
else
talking
just-
about the
Her name was like Sophie or.
Anyone else just hear someone's mic pick up a fart?
Let's be honest.
Sophie's choice.
It was probably Nick's.
It wasn't mine.
Bullshit.
My mic is here.
Bullshit.
That's a loud fart.
Also, the last
Nick,
time
I've
I
stood
recorded
next
on
to you when you farted.
stream,
I
it was
swear I
probably
just heard a...
Colin. Because Colin, after someone said something about it, Colin admitted to it like an hour later.
It's probably me setting this drink down. So.
Okay, that might make more sense.
But
I...
she was not in any way, shape, or form important. I just made her up for you to walk past her.
Okay, that's fair.
I can't find my bottle opener, guys.
The birds
Use your desk.
do not return. They're
Damn
gone
piece of shit birds.
until about a day later.
Hey, birds
They
are
lay
back.
low for a day
Yep.
and then decide to come back? What the hell?
They're now back on the boat, but now they don't gather around each other or close. They're sort of situated basically at all times on 3 different sides of the boat. Keeping a pretty wary eye of the group. Not really letting anyone get close to them.
Sad.
I'd say Andrew Whittick again, like, you could just speak
I'm inside.
to
It's
us.
warm inside.
I know it can't possibly be comfortable to stay like a bird for days.
You can,
in this cold.
You can roll a persuasion check on that.
Great. Oh boy, you ready for disadvantage?
Yeah.
Where's skills?
Can I, like-
First.
I go over there and coach him.
You just hear me speaking in bark.
Alright.
In bark?
Yeah, like
He's
bark
doing,
from a
like-
tree, not barking.
No, he's making like wet clicking sounds with his mandibles.
Oh boy, that's a fat 8, baby. Karakwa, say something, please.
Karakwa seeks the city that he seeks.
They're obviously, if they are druids, which I think they are, I don't think it's, that crazy of an ideal. What would I even say?
Tell them that you have sought the city you
You weren't there, Tommy. You're not allowed to say that. You
I don't know, it kind of makes it great that Tommy fucked it up.
I sought the titty that I seek.
Ah, yes, the titty we see.
That's yeah.
Liking women is gay.
It's true.
True.
It's true that you have emotions and they're soft and they want to cuddle. That sounds like gay shit to me.
True.
Wawandaji Mogdigo would never do something so gay.
No, he smashes and passes only.
He can't even
Say out
click
loud.
left.
I say out to the birds, also in Druidic, that we are merely passing by. We mean no harm. You're more than welcome on board the ship if you would like to see. I shout this out in bird druid speak, since we're all on a boat that's flying and they're probably pretty far away.
You should turn into a bird and have a bird orgy. That'll fucking warm them up.
Yeah.
That's true.
Jesus. Now he's gonna be Zeus?
Every week, Colin's magical realm just gets more and more obscure.
Dare ye enter my magical realm?
Well,
You want me to roll a persuasion for that?
yeah.
Okay. Colin or Ela, would you like to
I don't
help
speak
me out?
bird.
Dude, you could roll like
I
guidance
will
or
help
something.
Crocwa. I
With
will
the
help
guidance?
Crocwa
I will-
by cupping my hands and going caw,
Oh,
caw, caw,
will
caw.
inspire-
22.
I will.
I've got,
Eighth
actually, I've got a question.
Already rolled.
That's
If I can-
perception. I'm retarded. Sorry, that's perception. But if you wanted to take that roll, it'd be a 12 minus 1, which is an 11. And if I
I will do a bardic inspiration
Not,
to Cody.
not
at
the
least.
not the most persuasive of boys. Not nearly as persuasive.
You're
as the
fucking
island
asking the
boys.
people with no charisma. and I have disadvantage always.
Just wondering, if I can understand any language being spoken, does that include them talking bird language?
Probably.
If
They're
they
speaking.
can understand, if they can speak
If it
human,
does not
yes.
include Thieves' Cant or Druidic, it will say so. If you understand all languages, then you understand all languages. If it specifies
speak-
things that don't
They're
count.
speaking a language. So
They
Alright.
can understand you too.
I was looking for my bottle opener, Colin. What do these birds look like? Birds.
they look like a little bit like small jays, except they're stark white, except they have blue crests.
And there's
Yo, hit-
3 of
hit
them.
the fucking J.
So they don't they don't look like familiars or don't feel like familiars, right?
Not really.
Okay, just make sure.
Could be though. You don't know.
Can I cast Prestidigitation and kind of do like the airport?
Jesus.
All right. You don't really get anywhere with them. Surprisingly enough,
Colin just
Well,
picks
yeah,
up this encounter, throws it in the trash.
they are consistently wary of you. More so after you actually talk to them. They clearly understood you. That much was certain. But they haven't given themselves up or given up what they are. They're a constant companion with you for another day or so.
I brew some tea and leave it on the ledge for them.
We're trying to make them burp because the
Fucking
birds
flying.
can't burp.
The seltzer?
He makes some borscht.
Give them white bread.
the tea sits until it turns
The
cold.
slow death.
Damn. Alright.
Eventually, however, you can see the birds all take off at the same time, absolutely fluttering away as quickly as possible, darting away.
I say in Druidic, these rude ass motherfuckers.
Did we decide where we were going to first?
Right now, you're just heading up north.
That's what I thought. I was asking where we were, if we decide where we were going to land first.
You have not made that decision.
I mean, whose group is closest? Like
Yeah.
That's
druids,
what I was asking.
Finlings, or-
I would have plotted the course for
Is
whoever was closest.
Is it me?
The druids themselves is not a matter of who's closest for them. They're everywhere.
Well, is it
and
me or the
nowhere?
dragons then?
The dragons are the farthest north. It would probably be you or Runa. Both about. I mean, I haven't put y'all in specific places, so probably Henley.
Okay.
So, okay, I guess we're going to my house, my home then.
My house.
Well, if I had known that, I would have given Colin some shit over the week. No, it's fine. We can just go there.
The birds dart away, and it actually seems like it gets almost starkly quiet. As you sail through the skies, a sort of whitish gray clouds begin to form overhead, and slowly those sort of winds begin to pick up. As a snowstorm just suddenly barrels into the area, buffeting the airship itself. As you hear Nipsey cries out, "All hands on deck!" As you can feel the wind just tossing the boat around, swirling vortices of frigid snow just rising all around you. I want everyone to make a perception check.
Another one.
Another one.
22.
23. Take that, Nick.
Another 13.
15. I got a 14 last time.
I got a 9.
I mean,
Eleven.
realistically, I rolled a fucking 8 and a 3, and I still got a 22 and a 17. Just saying.
Yeah, and I still beat you by 1, so take that, Nick.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Fucking owned.
Objectively,
when you
let's
can
see.
roll above a
Objective-
10 every time, or actually above an 11 every time on perception, call me.
Much like
Actually, take that back. Above a fucking 15. 15 is my lowest.
much like a sailing across the ocean, you see silhouettes. 2 massive silhouettes below you. Great spanning wings, that sort of swirl like they cause the air around to swirl, sending tendrils of what almost looks like cold, smoky air up toward. And a dull sort of roar echoing from below. And then another one, an answer from a silhouette close to it, next to it, and then a third from what appears to be a unseen beast from above. There are 3 massive dragons surrounding you at this point. There is a storm that buffets the ship so much that you can barely control it.
Oh fuck. The birds were the dragons.
You can see that the dragons themselves sort of, they don't approach you. They don't really even pay you that much mind, you're surprised. They're almost flanking you, following you, paralleling you, perhaps watching you. What would you like to do?
Leave.
I asked Nipsey if she can bring the ship down.
That is the opposite of leaving.
It is not. Connor, if we go somewhere they don't want us to go, or Ito, if we go somewhere they don't want us to go, they will bring the ship down, and literally all of this will be for naught, and we will probably die.
Alright. She says, it's not gonna be easy, but, I mean, it's not easy
Given
keeping
the
it up here.
alternative,
We're not exactly having an easy time getting up here, but we're gonna need everybody on lines.
I go grab a line.
I want to try and use
grab
like,
a
my
line.
elemental attunement with the wind to try and ease the landing a little bit.
Okay. If you've got ideas for how to help your landing beyond just manning lines, which is generally strength and dexterity based, you are welcome.
Colin, I'm gonna hang from the bottom and stick my feet out like a cartoon, so that way I skid into it and stop the ship.
Okay.
This
Rick is
ship
a barbarian. He can do that kind of shit.
He's just gonna hold it up and run along the bottom and hold it up like a landing freaking gear.
It's gonna be like fucking Tobey Maguire trying to stop the train.
Manning
wow,
the lines,
Spider-Man spoilers.
Manning the lines
Yeah.
is either a strength check or a dexterity check.
I'm sorry for anyone who has seen Spider-Man 1 from like 2000.
Strength
true.
or dexterity or acrobatics or athletics?
Acrobatics or athletics, depending on what you're doing. If you're just trying to hold the line still, but she's also gonna have people trying to climb up the net to make sure that things are secured up there.
I am more acrobatics. Can I do the climbing then? Is that the acrobatics one?
Yes.
Okay.
I was
Colin,
gonna ask if. Go ahead.
I got a 16 for line throwing, unless I don't think I have advantage on that.
I got a 25 for my acrobatics, Colin.
That's pretty good. Good rolls. Good rolls.
I was gonna ask, are there? I'm looking at the ship from here, from the map. Is it just the sails on the side, or is there sails on the top?
There is a balloon on the top. There are small
Balloon on the
sails
top.
on the sides.
Well, if we're bringing it down, we need to probably control the fire. Yeah.
It will not hurt to have better control over the
Then
fire.
I'll go into the net up there and see what I can do with managing the flames
Okay.
and trying to bring it down.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll let you roll a. Just give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom, just straight wisdom.
Just give me a straight wisdom check.
Okay.
Colin.
Yeah.
Can I
No.
Well,
Can you
can
what?
I use my perception to assist Nipsey in finding a landing spot to get us a spot that's not like filled with trees?
Sure, I'll let her have advantage on her navigation check to land.
Right on.
But she only gets, one of those, so
I'm assuming that's all I can do, right?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I do then.
Basically, everybody gets one action to aid Nipsey bringing this down. And I'm measuring successes. So, wisdom 12. Not great, but helpful enough.
yeah. I'm getting a phone call. Hold on.
Reed, you scurry up the line, probably alongside Venta, making sure that the balloon, you're actually able to, you're stuck knocking off ice as best as you can, as you're surprised to find that everything is icing over at an incredible rate. Despite your very good acrobatics checks, you find yourself slipping. You don't fall off, but every now and then you have to stop and just clutch the slick ropes. As you scramble
I'll be right
about,
back.
trying to knock ice off just to keep the balloon light enough from collapsing. Others clutch the ropes, making sure that the balloon, that the gondola itself isn't just completely cast away from the balloon. I believe that's what everybody did. Yeah, it's good enough. And Nipsey and you feel yourselves quickly descending through the clouds. Karakwa has to, every now and then, really pay attention to the fire to make sure it stokes itself up so you don't descend too quickly. Especially because all you see is the silhouettes below you getting closer and closer, and no ground at all to be seen through the dense clouds. And the two silhouettes don't move. Soon you're on their level. You can see they're maybe 200, 300 feet away. Just the vague shadows of them. You even see for one moment a faint glint of what you swear is something that is blue, like an eye, that glitters. But they get no closer. Merely you descend. They continue flying. And as they continue flying, slowly the clouds do clear, the storm that surrounds them dissipating. And all of a sudden you hear Nipsey say, "Hold on, holy shit, hold on!" As Alec Cool, you look over the edge and see you've gone down a little bit too fast and you're closer to the ground than you thought. As the ship, it doesn't slam into the ground and break into pieces, but it is not... Alright, Nipsey did a good job sending it down. She got a 23. So it is not a smooth landing. It is an incredibly rough landing. But the ship bounces off the rocky landscape, rising up in the air maybe 20 feet as each of you is sort of tossed around. I need everybody to make a athletics check.
Oof. Sorry. Oh.
Could I make an acrobatics to like grab onto something?
Well, this is you're all holding on to something. This is just to avoid being just thrown down
I got
That's an
23 Colin.
11.
on the
We're
ground.
so good at athletics,
deck.
Katie.
Yeah, I'm really bad
Let's
at athletics.
go.
I'm good at athletics. I got a 7.
It was only a DC 12.
Yeah, but I'm
Damn.
real bad at athletics.
Too bad.
Several of you are just knocked to the ground, slamming into the deck as it bounces, as you're sent skittering across the deck, doing everything you can to try to clutch to something. As the ship
Oh,
rises
could
up
I
another
use spider
20
climb to hold on to it? Could I do that?
Yeah, sure.
Nice. I don't get thrown off.
Nobody's just completely yeeted off the deck. Just several of you
Yet.
slam down to the ground and are sort of thrown about, rather unpleasantly as the ship bounces basically 20 feet in the air, before it Nipsey continues controlling it forward, you can see you've ended up very close to what appears to be the bank of a river, or the sort of edge of a river that it runs sort of northwards. As the Skyweaver settles down to the ground once again with another pretty hard bump. But this time it sort of slowly comes to a standstill as you look above and see the swirling storm continuing to fly to the north.
Well, Nipsey, that was clearly an effort to get us to not fly any closer to those waterfalls.
Did you?
I would not.
She sort of says, "Holy shit! Are we all alive? Is everyone alive?"
Yeah, I pick Nipsey up and give her a hug. Good job.
She rushes her. She sort of pats you on the back and says, "Go check on the Thrycreen. I'm gonna check on Carrington."
Yep, I go below deck and I check on the Thrycreen and the animals.
I
The
got a
animals
question.
are okay. Yeah, yeah.
Are Thrycreen cold?
Thrycreen are in fact cold, or they do suffer from cold pretty badly.
No, like
Yeah.
like touching one. Are they like cold to the touch? Because I don't know if they have like blood.
Oh, does chitin warm up with body heat the same
No.
way skin does?
No.
I guess not then.
Yeah.
I was asking. I don't know if they're considered like a warm-blooded creature or not.
No.
They've got some pretty heavy bundles. They've got to be pretty heavily bundled up and things like that.
Since Ida's not here, I'll make sure Adelaide, Lincoln, and Madame Vestia and Am are alive.
I speak
Because they
to
were down at the
the.
bottom.
I speak to the group. I believe those 3 birds were those dragons we just encountered.
You can see that the whenever you go below deck to check on Adelaide, and Vestia, you can see Adelaide sort of staggers from her room where she was sort of, I wouldn't say cowering, but she had sheltered. You can see it looks like Madame Vestia was in there with her as the two sort of sheltered in there together. It looks like Madame Vestia's like her wrist hangs a little bit oddly as she favors one arm.
That's not good.
You see, he is okay as far as you can tell. He actually sort of, his hair, the only thing that betrays that he was worried or at all is his hair is quite a mess, but he says, "Well, it seems like we ran into a little bit of turbulence, huh?" Lincoln has a cut on his forehead that he is rubbing what appears to be some sort of healing lotion on, or some sort of healing salve.
Man's got Aquaphor.
Yeah. Turbulence in the form of 3 dragons. Yes.
3 dragons? What the hell?
Dragging these nuts across your face.
Ooh.
Shit, Lincoln, you so funny.
I haven't seen a dragon before. Let alone
You
3 of
did.
them.
Like, he didn't, because he was below deck.
He was hiding below deck.
Oh.
Like an intelligent person.
Yeah.
Well,
Lincoln, how much
they're
for
not,
the
they're not
healing
like
salve?
crew, so they don't do that stuff.
Oh, I asked Lincoln how much the healing salve is.
Well, I mean, if people are injured, I mean, I'm happy to hand it out. I'm not gonna hoard something like that in times where people are looking for some help.
Yeah, I'll point him towards Vestia, since he probably knows at least basic first aid and stuff.
The Thrycreen themselves, they are okay. They were on hand to help tie down the boat and keep it under control. Neither one of them were thrown to the ground, actually, both managing to maintain a relatively steady footing, as all 4 of their arms, like, gripped the banisters that ran along the freaking boat and held on for dear life. You can see they are shaken more than
Not
hurt.
stirred.
They don't. It looks like they've got some bruises. But the two of them sort of almost tremble violently, and you see it's not just from the cold. As they sort of sit huddled together on the deck. Their little mouth mandible parts making like sounds.
Are you alright?
The two of them are quiet for a moment. One of them says, "The Mantis Queen didn't show us this in our visions."
She didn't show me a lot of things. The things in between the visions is a surprise, if you will.
They're like they make it a little more spicy.
She doesn't want to give everything away. You understand?
Spicy visions.
Yeah, spicy visions. These are my spicy prophecies.
We may have.
My hot take horoscope.
We may. Did we make a mistake doing this?
Oh, why would you say that?
I didn't. I didn't think it would be. I mean, dragons.
Part of the other prophecy is 3 dragons. You will not encounter the dragons any more than you just did, I hope.
Do you often run into dragons?
Actually, about that.
Do you?
It has come up with relative regularity.
It's happened more than a couple times.
If I had a nickel for every dragon we met,
We
I'd
did
have
have
like
a few
4
nickels.
nickels. But it's weird that it happened 4 times.
Actually, technically,
I'd have 2 nickels, and 2 nickels not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice. That's the joke you're looking for.
He says, "Well, that means you can handle me dragging these nuts across your chin."
Shut the fuck
got
up.
him.
I think Colin puts dragons in games just to make that joke.
They're shaking.
Probably.
Wait. Since they're a hive mind, did they all chuckle about the joke?
Yeah, it reaches all the way
Okay.
down to the hive.
I was about to say the Mantis Queen chuckles.
The Mantis Queen chuckles.
Fucking the people there are like, these nuts.
It makes Alec Cool laugh too.
I'm not part of the hive mind anymore.
You aren't connected to her?
No,
Oh, that's weird.
I'm not connected to anybody. I'm connected to the Mantis Queen because I'm a champion. I'm not
Well,
connected
yeah,
to any other
if
hive.
it gets back to her, then she relays it back to you. It's a funny joke. You get to laugh.
Yeah, but I was already there, so...
She
it
like
doesn't matter.
reposted it in the hive mind.
She retweeted it at Alec Cool.
A quick
Don't at me.
survey of the crew passengers reveals that the most severe injury is definitely Madame Vestia's wrist, which appears to have been broken. Obviously, the animals themselves are spooked, and several of their pens, or basically the doors to their pens open up, and they sort of run loose on the bottom deck. As you can hear them sort of puttering around. Who went down there to deal with them?
Down there with the...
Alright,
with
give me an animal handling check.
$18.
Rob is easy enough to get into her pen. She's more than happy to, after a little bit of calming, return back to the stall, and you can see she heads towards the back and almost nuzzles down. Bella, however, is much more aggressive and angry, and scared, as you actually have to chase Bella around for a while. Eventually having to just take a couple minutes where you give up and just block off the stairway leading up to the top deck to give her time to fully calm down, before eventually she ends up returning to her own stall.
Fair.
On the banks of the river, Nipsey surveys the Skyweaver for damage, and she can't help but be a little bit proud of herself, as it's basically not suffered anything besides some chipped paint. dented
Oh,
boards.
but it's so beautiful. The blue and gold.
Even so, she says, I think we'll bed down on the ground tonight. As you can see, she looks nervously to the sky, which is clear now.
Colin, can I tell how far we are from my home?
At this point, you're probably build up north, this way. So you probably ended up right around here, where the river runs straight to the north. You are a couple days on foot.
Okay, I was gonna say for a few miles, I'll say we should probably just walk there, but never mind.
Just to confirm, do we want to go to your home, or do we want to avoid your home?
That's the closest place, and I mean,
Being out in the open is not
That
benefit
is
us.
not a question, or that is not an answer to that question.
player-wise, yes, we want to go there. Henley, probably hesitant.
Just to confirm, the teleportation circle works now, or
It does work, yes.
okay.
I can get us back if we do go somewhere.
What is the recharge time on that? Do you know?
It's as many times as I can cast the spell.
Okay, so it still uses you as a caster.
Yep.
Okay.
I just have to have a rune sequence to mark down to teleport us, or a circle to teleport us to another circle.
Nipsey thinks it would be wise to bed down for the night. She, like I said, nervously looks up to the sky. I guess you can take off in the morning.
Yeah, we definitely want to take our time with the moving thing. You know, with the dragons and all. That's not a good idea to piss them off any more than we already have.
Well, I guess we'll set up watches. Why don't you take a watch with the Thri-kreen? They're probably a lot more comfortable with you.
Yep, we'll do it last because we have dark vision. Or not last, next to last. Because we only need to sleep 4 hours.
Well, I'm probably gonna be up all night just making sure everything's pretty good. Barrington will help. Yondar, Lysanther, go ahead and set up camp as the Warforged and the Goblins sort of go below deck and gather rough camping supplies. And just outside the boat, they're able to set up what appears to be like a small fire, things like that. Something to keep warm because, you know, a little bit of separation from the ship is nightmare that just happened on it. It was already a bit close to the end of the day. You know, maybe 6 whenever you went down. The last little bits of light sort of quickly fade away. As a wonderful, kind of beautiful night glitters above you, as it is completely pretty much beautifully clear. Maybe the clearest most of you have seen it outside of Aruna and Henley, who would have seen this before. Each of you, give me a general order for for the watch.
I'll take a later shift because I'm used to like this area.
I'll take first watch, just so I can. Well, there's still some light because I don't have dark vision.
I was gonna say I can help someone.
I will
because
take
know the cult walled, and I only sleep 4 hours.
Can I take second watch because I do have dark vision?
Where's Adelaide during all this?
Or I checked on her while you weren't here.
Adelaide was helping tend to Madame Vestia and Lincoln and the other passengers. She was fine. Madame Vestia broke her wrist.
Sad.
I'm assuming someone has already healed Madame Vestia.
I think Lincoln did.
Lincoln had some healing salve and stuff like that.
I think it's about time that Adelaide starts keeping a watch. I will join her in that endeavor.
So is this like going to be an 8-hour sleep where we're rotating who's on
Yeah.
watch?
10-hour rest, 8 hours of sleep, 2 hours of watch.
I'll just cover watch that Henley's not covering. We both have kind of home field advantage to help people.
Yeah, if anyone wants to help while it's nighttime or daytime and I can't see.
I mean, with the NPCs, there's what, like 10 of us?
If Henley and Aruna are taking like the mid watch, I'll take the early watch with Karakwa then.
Right, so got Karakwa, we got Benta.
About how long is each watch?
Each watch
So,
is
like I said,
2 hours.
Five watches, 2 hours apiece. That way, everybody gets 8 hours of sleep.
Okay.
And the ones that don't need 8 hours can do, whatever.
Yeah, I would say I can do multiple. So
I'll do like.
It doesn't just have to be a 2 people. 2 people's just.
I'll do the third one, and I'm gonna summon the thing that I never use, the Onyx Dog.
Are
Oh my
we?
God.
Are we just long resting, Colin?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say, 'cause
The Onyx
we're-
Dog will last for 6 hours.
Right.
Onyx Dog.
Let's see. We got Karakwa, we got Benta, who have done first. Who is on
While
second?
there's still some light. No, who's on first?
I thought it was you and I.
Karakwa invented.
What's on second?
Who's on second?
Max.
Don't do the joke.
Yeah.
I just need to know who's on second. Unless you want Lysanthier and Yandar doing it.
I'll say someone else do second. I'll do
Oh,
third, fourth, and fifth because I would
Me
have slept.
and Adelaide will do second.
I will also do third, fourth, and fifth with Tommy because I will also have already slept.
Do you want me to do the beginning half with them then?
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Henley because he's got the.
Well,
the
then I
lay of
guess
the
I'll
land.
hand someone my my Onyx Dog necklace to use.
I think we've got it covered, Lou. I don't think we need the dog.
I mean, it's not like it costs me.
The dog can sense
have a
things.
dog.
No, that's true.
I mean,
Might as well use it if you never use it.
Henley.
I mean, it's just because I kind of forget that I have it, and also it's a 7-day recharge.
I mean, you could be Dritz.
I'm gonna get some.
Right.
Oh, and I did not even know this. It can speak common.
Great.
it can speak common or understand
Just-
common.
yeah, speak or
Hey,
understand.
hey man, you come here often?
Common.
Woof.
Aruna, is this dog fucking talking to me?
Have you seen that dog that hangs out with that other
This Onyx
Have you
Samurai
seen that
dog
midget
can
with that
become
weird
a mastiff
dog?
for up to 6 hours. The mastiff has an intelligence of 8 and can speak common.
Yeah, but he only thinks they only think that because every time the Onyx Dog goes around your family and looks at your mom, he goes woof.
Everyone disliked that.
Damn.
Aruna. Got
Is
Aruna.
there-
We got Alec Cool, and we got the Cream.
Is there a way to downvote things in real life?
Yeah, it's called a bullet.
Holy
Damn.
Damn. It's just, need to be a little bit more edgy there.
I was
little
gonna say
more.
fucking predator missile, but that's fine.
Like
Alright.
Obama downvoted that hospital?
Damn.
Yeah.
Karakwa.
Yes.
Benta.
Yes.
Henley.
Yes.
Who was the
Yep.
fourth?
I'm literally doing fourth, fifth, and sixth with
Yeah.
whoever.
Aruna, Alec
because
Cool, and the Thrycreen.
Or yeah,
Yep.
or the last ones after the first two or whatever.
We got third is Reed, Onyx Dog. Gonna have Lysanthier and Yandar join you. We got second, Ito, Adelaide. We got first, Rakwa, Benta, Henley, and I guess Bruce.
I think the truly troubling thing is how much effort Colin's putting into. It's really sus.
Need to know when people are gonna be up. All right. That is. It's starting off, each of you, as the light begins to fade, Karakwa, Venta, Henley, Bruce, you all take your first shift, gathered around the low burning fire, pushing back against the cold, clear night. For the most part, you sit in silence. I don't know what you talk about or if you talk about anything. I mean, you can if you want to.
Well,
I mean, I talked to like Henley about the lay of the land and all that shit about the terrain.
Rock was like, Venta, you're a dumbass for taking that sword.
But other than that, nothing really happens. There's no sounds at all. It's almost eerily quiet.
I talked to
Not
Bruce
really.
about ice fishing.
That's interesting because you would probably know a fair bit about it.
oh my god.
Caught Neil the other day.
Henley, you know that, especially this weekend, the large lake to the north, not as big as, you know, the Chillwater Lake, but it's a pretty sizable lake, is home to a relatively special animal that's basically like a dwarf narwhal. They are considered... essentially, the residents of the lake consider them almost magical, like a unicorn, and generally view that their presence or their appearance is a warning of some sort, an omen. At least the superstitious ones do. The less superstitious ones just think they're an interesting animal that lives in the lake, quite rare.
Cool.
Nice. Dwarf narwhal.
Damn pygmy narwhals with their pygmy narwhal tusks.
Like, and they're like a bad omen?
They are considered a warning, essentially a bad omen. Although they don't view them as like causing it, it's just almost like they appear to warn everybody of troubles, essentially.
So they're not bad, but they
pretend
think
their
that
appearance
something bad is coming.
portends something bad.
I have to let my dogs out, so give me a minute before something bad happens.
Anytime anyone has ever caught one, it is viewed very, very poorly on their part. The type of thing that would get people shunned from a community for doing it.
Jesus.
Like
Wow,
posting your exposed credit card information in Discord.
It would, but it's viewed very dimly to cause any harm to them. But that's mostly what you talk about. The night passes by, begins to grow darker, sky beautifully clear. Eventually it goes to Ito and Adelaide, who take their turns. Both of them gather around the fire. Connor's not here, so nothing's happening on Connor's turn.
Adelaide trying to get up on that D.
Ito could not afford Adelaide.
Yeah.
The next shift passes. Reed, the Onyx Dog, Lysanthier, and Yondar. Reed, you're finally able to get some nice alone time with Lysanthier and Yondar. Two people who, you know, you're one of the people that would actually be like, hey, we were at the
see him
freaking
again,
village.
hey."
We were at the village together. I remember you. It's been we've been together for a while, but it's nice to sit down and talk and catch up really well on old times.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
That's only a 13.
Alright.
Apparently, I can only perceive 13s this session.
Unlucky.
Alright. The three of you sort of gathered around the fire, and all of a sudden you hear the Onyx Dog.
What do you see, boy?
Sitting up.
What do you smell?
sort of at almost attention, going from laying on the ground to a very erect sort of sitting position as he looks out into the darkness. Every now and then, he lifts his nose up to the sky. And there's almost a quiet response. Woo! Woo!
Who's out there?
It's asking you who you are. Why are you asking it who it is?
Who answers a question with a question?
Bird. Bird. As all of a sudden he stands up and you can see his hackles are sort of slightly raised.
It sees that there's like, or it's getting in like an aggressive pose. The dog.
Yes.
All right, I don't want to raise the alarm, but if you're not going to show yourself,
You pause for a moment, and you hear the sort of flap of wings as a very large barn owl essentially sort of soars to just at the edge of the firelight, coming to a stop. This barn owl is quite large. Actually, it probably rises up to taller than you, Reed. As its large eyes capture the moonlight.
are you really just an owl?
Why would I tell you that?
Reed, this thing's huge. Do you think it's just an owl?
Barn owls are huge, Max.
Not taller than a halfling.
It absolutely is.
A barn owl? Barn owls are enormous.
They're pretty big.
They might as well be the size of cars.
Sort of feathers begin to slowly melt into its body as it continues rising up in sort of size as what the Onyx dog continues to sort of bark as it takes a very humanoid form, growing 5, 6, 7 feet tall. Its skin or its feathers sort of slowly turning from sort of this dark color to this incredibly pale, almost grayish color, as it bulks out, revealing what appears to be a sort of Goliath that's standing there, looking sternly at the group before him. As you can see, Lysanthier and Yonduin have both sort of stood up. Lysanthier's hand sort of slowly straying to the whip that he keeps at his side. The Goliath just sort of stares at you, says, "You've entered the territory of the Crashing Tide clan without their permission."
Well, my apologies. I did not know this was your territory. I'm sure my friends didn't either.
Clearly you're a long way from home by that flying contraption that was brought down by the 3 Great White Ones.
Fucking Lou over here. I'm sorry, officer. I didn't know that was illegal.
The 3 Great White Ones? You mean the dragons that we heard about?
Heard about? Experienced?
The cold
like, "Don't worry, I'm
wood
white."
is an unwelcoming place to strangers. You would be wise to sail south now.
Well, we've been in plenty of unwelcoming places, and unfortunately, we kind of need to go this way. We have some business to attend to a little further north.
That would be very unwise. There is nothing good to come from heading north. Only death and pain. Freezing cold temperature. You seem ill-suited to it. The clothes you bear are not ones that will keep you warm for very long.
Well, we've been in cold climates before. Look, if you're really got such a problem, if you're willing to come back in the morning, you can talk it out with my companions. But unfortunately, we're definitely going to need to be going there.
Then you take your lives into your own hands. This was a warning. We were only paying you. We were only trying to help you from dire fate.
Well, I thank you for the warning, and we will take it under advisement. And Reed's gonna bow to him.
Lou, that's an insult up here. You just told him his mom's a whore.
Oh my god.
It's true.
Roll for initiative.
We will not stop you, of course. We only wish to issue the warning. I hope that your endeavors are lucky. I hope you find good fortunes. And he just sort of
I do have...
turns and walks out of the firelight. We will be watching.
That was something.
Do you say he's gonna be watching?
Yup.
Well, it's a good thing Lou reads a voyeur.
Voyeur.
Voyeurist, yeah, whatever,
Voyeur.
Lou. Shut up.
Those are two very different.
No,
he's a
you can be
voreurist.
both.
When
Tries-
you try
tries
your
to insult and
best, but you
fails.
don't succeed.
When you're a halfling named Reed, what could
Damn.
be worse?
Alright.
He disappears. And their night otherwise
Not unlike
shift
Lou's self-respect.
passes by, uneventfully beyond that. So, you move to the next
Does
shift.
Reed say anything about that when we switch shifts?
Yes, I would warn the next shift. There is a giant barn owl Goliath man issuing out warnings.
Did he say who he was from?
Here.
Crashing Tide. Here, in general. Didn't really say much else other than that.
I mean, that's pertinent information. I'm sure Karakul would like to know, so...
Yeah, but I figured Karaka would also like to get some sleep first, so...
Well, when Karakul wakes, you should tell him, or I'll do it, because I'll be awake.
Alright. And I will keep the Onyx dog there while I head off to bed.
Alright. Aruna
I
Alec
call
Cool
out
III.
for the owl.
That is gonna be a. What do you say?
Come out here and face
I
me,
say,
you
in
feathery bitch.
Druid of the Crashing Tide, please come sit with me and speak.
Tells you to go fuck yourself.
I mean,
Damn.
I wouldn't be surprised. BH.
You don't see anything. Well, go ahead and roll a perception check.
I'll say, I don't know. I see like a lot though. I'm assuming I have advantage still, so that's a 34.
Sitting well at the edge of the fire, sort of towards the edge of the well, at the edge of even your dark vision, you can see what appears to be a large, burly form continuing to watch. And you said that in Druidic?
Yep.
You speak a natural tongue at the very least, it says quite loudly.
From here, clearly.
Mayhaps your wisdom will allow you to see the error of continuing to the north, despite our warnings. It is not a safe place, and it's not only the dragons that would oppose you. There are others in these woods, druids even, that would consider you infringing on their territory. It is not a
Well-
safe place, and you can't even call all druids your allies at this point.
Are you with a bigger group, or are you going your own?
I myself am part of the Crashing Tide clan. Well,
I've heard
what
I've
was
heard of some
the Crashing
some
Tide
division.
clan before the trials.
Well, a companion of mine who is currently getting his rest seems to have been seeking you out, and I
Druids I seek.
I can't say that I wasn't doing the same. He seeks to help, and I mean to help him help the Crashing Tide.
We just want things to go back to normal.
I've heard.
Same.
I can't blame you. I would also like things everywhere to go back to normal, but these days it's quite hard to do.
The druids don't like the scandemic.
What can your friend offer to help us, though?
He's the Fire Herald.
I'm the Fire Kumar. Let's go to Coldwalled White Castle.
Hell yeah!
That I must go speak with my master, and we will judge whether that is a worthwhile endeavor.
We will be here at least for the day tomorrow, probably. So.
If it is the case that he wishes to help, tell him to wait. We will arrive no later than noon.
I will. Thank you.
The Goliath turns and once again walks away into this into the cold darkness, disappearing in the into the sort of rough woods nearby.
No wonder he was such a big ass owl.
I like to imagine that he turns back into an owl, but doesn't fly away. He just kind of like
He just waddles away like a penguin. He turns into a penguin.
I think owls like hop.
he's a druid, so
Well,
he can actually be.
they can walk, but they take really wide steps. They walk like John Wayne.
The Thri-Kreen were like, "The hell was that?"
I believe is a Goliath
Oh, okay.
and a druid, just not like the ones from Beaz Kumlahar. It's a little different here.
Usually the Goliaths move in herds. Beaz Kumlahar. Don't see many solitary like that. It's weird. They can't turn into owls, that's for damn sure.
Well, yeah.
To think in this day and age, that's what's weird.
It's current year, guys.
Oh, the Goliaths in Beaz Kumlahar live in nomadic clans that wander the desert, so...
Like I said, it's different.
Are your Goliaths desert dwellers instead of mountain dwellers?
That's why they wander the desert.
They're camels. They just turned into big camels.
They've got large fatty deposits on their back.
That
And
explains why they're so
between
tall.
their legs.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
Other than that, however, the night passes. Eventually, the sun rises cold and clear. It's unpleasantly cold. You wake up, have to Nipsey with a large wooden sledgehammer, sort of the sound thump of her beating ice off the rails of the Skyweaver, sort of muttering to herself about the unbearable cold, saying, Jesus Christ, at this point I might welcome Bismarck's fire. and she just continues beating off ice. As the rest of the basic crew joins her. The basic crew all have Uggs and pumpkin spice lattes and do basic
Oh
work.
Jesus!
No.
God.
Wait, there's
Ah.
a Starbucks on the edge of the cult wall.
There's a
Yeah.
Starbucks on the Skyweaver.
Oh
Yeah,
my
bro.
god, they've
No,
infiltrated.
we
There's
actually
one.
the teleportation circle only goes to a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Who's the barista?
But
There's
a
one
good
on
idea.
see,
every
the
corner.
teleportation circle, it goes to a Starbucks just in a different location. Like it goes to a Starbucks on the Ile de Royhan.
Shit, they got one of them
Starbucks is a pocket
motherfuckers.
dimension in this universe.
The one on the Elder
Of course,
has like
man. They got Starbucks
Bag-
everywhere.
The,
Bag of
No, they-
Starbucks.
the one
No.
on the Ile de Royhan's too cool. It goes to a Port City, Java.
No, I was gonna say the Elder Royhan
Jeez.
one's like one of those places that proudly Starbucks that isn't a Starbucks. That's what it is.
So they have a Port City Java.
The one on the Ile de Royhan proudly employs veterans, and it's just empty.
Tragic.
Each of you wakes
Is
up
everyone? Okay, no, I answered my questions.
to the sound of thump, thump, thump. As Nipsey's gone about it, she seems satisfied enough with the general integrity of the ship after its relatively rough landing. And now seems focused on getting the ship up into the air as quickly as possible. As she sort of beats the ice off.
Eh.
I go find Karakwa.
You are the lizard.
Last
I see.
night,
The wizard.
The lizard.
Oh.
we had a visitor from the Crashing Tide.
He's drinking his coffee, and then you didn't wake me up.
They said they would come back. They needed to judge whether this was a worthy endeavor for them.
Is the crashing tide? Is that the last element that we've encountered, or? 'Cause we've got the Zephyr, the Wildfire, Crashing Tide. There's an Earth one, right?
Yeah, the avalanche.
The Avalanche. We haven't done anything with them, right?
I have not met the avalanche. The avalanche are in Baz Kumar.
But that's it. That's it. That's all four.
Technically there's 6.
Good to know. Ito wouldn't know that, so.
Good.
I don't think
The
most
less
of
you
us
know
do.
about me, the better.
No, I remember an Earth one being mentioned. I just can't remember if we ever met.
So, what exactly did they say?
They said they were judging whether or not it was worth their time to let us help them. I guess they said
They
they,
say
would be
who
here
they
by
served.
noon. They did not.
Hmm.
I imagine we were told that one of the two was not very welcoming. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So I'd assume it's the more friendly one. But
Well, he also said he was part of the clan, like formally before the trials, so he could be like a third party too.
yeah, we'll
That's
see,
hard to
because
say.
I believe their leader would be coming if it's anything that they're willing to pursue
They say they will be here by noon.
by noon today.
We will wait.
I-
Good booze.
I figured.
Colin, I'm gonna go hunt some game in this area.
You can, yeah.
I
Yeah,
want
I'm
to. What were we gonna say, Beaver?
Yeah, I was gonna join you. And
Okay,
as I walk past the ship, I'm gonna like use my my elemental attunement and just like slough off some of the ice, just like as I'm passing by.
I'm gonna take Reed with me too. If Reed will come.
I tell them before they leave. I say, with the druids watching, be mindful. Do not take too much.
I live here.
I know.
Joke's on you. You accidentally kill a druid in animal form.
Oh my god!
No, no.
Wouldn't he just de-shift and they'd go?
He does, and then he gets up and says, "What the
He's
fuck?"
fucking mad.
You know, I have to wait. I have to take a rest for each of these wild charges, dude. Come on.
So you got
He
an
gets
arrow
up and
in his
says, "What the
fucking
hell?"
elbow,
And then
like,
you shoot him.
"Yeah."
You shoot him again, say, "No witnesses."
We're also cannibals.
Ah,
You
shit.
should also light the forest on fire to make sure.
But yeah, if Reed will come, I'm gonna take Reed too.
All right.
Reed go, Reed go, Reed go.
I mean, is this after, everybody slept?
Yep.
Is this like
Yeah.
the new
Yeah,
day?
yeah, it's in the
New
morning.
day.
Morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I mean, I guess I'll go.
I'm gonna. You were asking about the wild hunt, so I'm gonna see if you can. I wonder if you hunt, and if you like prepare it, if Uller will talk to you.
Well, mostly what I was interested was gaining power from a deity, but
It
Just
might
the
work.
First step.
Given that there's not a whole hell of a lot that I can do to be useful, I will spar with Adelaide. If she's even conscious.
She is, but as soon as she goes up on deck, she says, "You want to spar in this sort of cold?"
It's not gonna go away, trust me.
Also-
Actually, hey, to be fair, like, where we were encountering the Black Everfrost people was like, what, 40 degrees colder than this, yeah?
About, yes.
Okay, so I'm probably uncomfortable, but it's not as bad. Having experienced worse, it's not that bad.
Currently, you're not suffering from an unusually magical cold like with that. It is cold as shit here.
I will remind her that the movement would warm her up.
Warm me up. I basically was shooting down icicles in my chamber pot.
jeez.
Welcome to the real
That's
world.
kind of hot.
Damn, girl, you frying chicken in there? Haha, no, but for real though.
I don't like any part of that.
She takes the large two-handed mace and says, "How about we spar, and if I miss you, I'll knock some ice off of the boat."
This is what she puts a hole in it.
Okay.
Alright. She throws sand in your face.
Oh
Goes
no,
back-
she was the
Goes back to
male
bed.
soul of the combat.
You can spar with her. She'll reluctantly do so. She is not happy to be out in the cold. Is pretty consistently complaining about it, saying, if we were to go back, capital, Weissenberg, there'd be warm breakfast and huge braziers that would keep everything warm, and we don't, we have a teleportation circle, so we can just leave. It'd be like a vacation. Wouldn't that be nice?
But, Lady Adelindra, you were already on vacation.
This is not Adelindra. That is a different person.
Oh, fuck.
That's
You're
actually-
about to be hung.
That's a very, very different person. There are admittedly a lot of A names.
Shit.
Oh shit,
He's
I got the
figured it
cat out
out.
right quick.
Adelindra, Adelaide, Hitler.
Abigail.
Aruna, Abigail.
Avendor.
In all fairness, I didn't make up Adelindra, and Adelaide was made before this even started.
I was actually pretty proud of Adelindra's name. I thought that was a good name.
The two of you spar. She is getting better.
You said she's trying to focus on two-handeds, right?
Yes. She kind of she had previous training. She knew how to fight some. She actually seemed to quite like it. But she surely does not like it in the cold. As you find that she stops maybe every few minutes to warm her hand up and sort of look around annoyedly at the situation she's in and the situation that you convinced her to go on. As she mutters saying, "I don't even know what this is supposed to be teaching me about the common man, that they can freeze to death too."
Well, perhaps your borders should cut off where it stops being comfortable.
If they want to move to the Vergil Plains, they're welcome too.
You could release these Northlands and allow them to become independent states.
Why?
I mean, I know I wouldn't want to pay taxes to somebody who doesn't even come up here and experience what it's like. Come to think of it, I don't think I pay taxes.
We're well aware
Wow.
of that, Ito. There's a reason you owe 150,000 gold pieces to the crown. Don't think I don't
Ito's-
know the cost.
Ito is the Elon Musk of this world.
No, the crown literally stopped sending tax collectors. They forgot the island existed.
So did Ito.
Meanwhile, the hunting party heads out. Henley, this is easy for you. You know this sort of habitat. You know exactly what the hell to look for. Give me a survival check with advantage.
12.
Hmm.
God.
Slim pickings today, unfortunately. It is not a region that is nearly as devoid of game or life as many people would expect. You'd expect the harsh, cold woods to be very inhospitable, but there are plenty of animals that call this home. And you pretty easily, for the most part, it takes you a little while, but you do come across two sets of tracks. One, what appears to be large, some sort of large hoofed animal. The other, a couple sets of probably some sort of hair, like a snow hare or something.
There's 3 of us, so you could probably try to.
Divide and conquer.
I don't know. I don't know if we should go for the hoofed animal. Might be one of the druids.
So can any of the rabbits.
I suppose. How many rabbits it look like there are?
Probably there was at least anywhere between 3 and 6. You couldn't really tell with that survival check. It was definitely more than 1.
Well, we need to feed people, so I go after the hoofed animal. We're not gonna get any food off the 3 rabbits for all of us.
Agreed.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright. You continue taking the path of the large hoofed animal, stalking it for what it feels like an hour or so. Catching up, you can see the sort of hoof prints get crisper and clearer and newer. You find broken branches as it makes its way through through the wood. What appears to be hair in an area where it rubbed up against a tree, its great horns running against it and stripping the bark off to mark it. You find very quickly what appears to be animal poop. Still relatively warm. And know that you are getting close. Not very far behind it at all. Go ahead and give me a stealth check, because I imagine you want to be stealthy when you approach it.
A 20.
I got a 14.
My god. How stealthy is Reed?
Oh, sorry. I mean, my stealth's fucking good, so 27.
Alright. The 3 of you at this point sort of split apart, roughly 20 feet or so, slowly making your way forward, trudging through the nearly knee-deep snow. In this case, Reed, it's pretty difficult, as he has to sort of follow a little bit more closely the actual path that was trudged through by the large hoofed creature. But eventually, you hear a faint sound as you can see off in the distance a very large stag of some sort. standing in the tree line. You can it pauses for a moment and looks around before it lowers its head, its great rack of antlers rubbing up against a tree as it strips bark off of it, sort of marking its territory, filling the trunk with scent as it stands up once again and continues slowly moving onwards. It is, Henley, you know that stags of this type are not super easy to bring down. They can take a hit pretty well.
Is it even smart to like try to fight this one?
Sure.
I don't know if I'll do I don't know what I'll do to the ecosystem.
Realistically, I mean, sure, you can bring down stags. Taking one's not gonna disrupt everything. A new stag will run in, make it eventually come in, and this will be their territory. There's plenty enough. They can be a little bit difficult to bring down. However, usually it does take either a single lucky arrow or several sort of coordinated attacks to bring it down at the same time, because if it gets a chance to run, it can go pretty far pretty quickly.
Yeah, we should. But I guess I asked Bruce and Reed if they want to do it or not.
I'm in. Just use all the parts of the animal.
Reed.
Sorry. Sorry, what are we going with?
Do we want to fight the stag or no?
I mean, what's up with the stag?
It's hard to take down.
Are we being tasked with doing it, or is it just to take it down?
I mean, it'll feed us.
Well, then I have nothing against it. I mean, if we're doing it for food, if we're hunting it for food.
Well, yeah. All right, that's fine. We can try to. We have to pincer and take it down then. There's no way we're gonna arrow it. I mean, most likely.
All right, just tell me where you need me.
Could we like corner? Could we try to like? We need to spread out and then come at it at one time.
Hot.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, spread it. I'm talking about the coronavirus.
Oh no.
It's not a Pokemon. Calm down.
It's not a Vapor.
Henley's got a hunting
Don't
boner.
look at me like that.
I mean, if I can get close enough to grapple it, that should be about it for it.
I mean, it also might run off with you though. But yeah, that's fine. You can try to grapple it. Is that what you want to do? Do you think you can get close enough to it?
I think I can.
I don't know if I can get stealthily close enough to it, but if it were to get pushed into me, if you and Reed were able to put it into my corner, I could drop on it.
Alright, we can try that.
Alright. So the plan is herd it into Bruce, who's going to tackle it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. You sort of fan out. The stag itself does not appear to be in any particular rush, and it does not notice you. I'm just using the stealth checks you rolled. As you continue onwards, making your way through the dense underbrush, the dense snow, Bruce, you sort of rush ahead as best as you can, giving it a wide berth to get in front of where it's heading, as Henley and Reed sort of slowly follow behind, darting from tree to tree, pausing every time the stag lifts its head, its great brown eyes looking about. Eventually, Bruce, you are in position, basically making, I mean, it's like a triangle, 3 points. You're just ahead of where it's heading, and Reed and Henley are behind. And you've got the earrings, so you can be like,
Well, I
I'm
don't.
here. Reed,
I actually
I'm
don't
here.
have. I don't have one either.
My God, how are you signaling each other?
Told you, man.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay. That causes the elk or the stag to lift its head up and start looking around.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever, I guess.
I mean, it hasn't taken notice of you, but it's a little bit on edge.
Can I see Bruce from where I am?
Bruce. I'll say sure. One.
Well, if he looks like he's in position, I'm gonna try to spook it towards him then.
All right. You sort of rush out, lifting yourself up. With a shout, you run towards the stag. As you can see, it immediately turns to bolt. It turns towards you, Bruce. Not directly towards you, but it begins sprinting vaguely in your direction. As you wait momentarily before it comes close enough that you can try to leap at it to bring it down or grapple it.
Alright. Jump out and grab by the antlers. Athletics?
Yes.
That is a 14.
14 total. It pretty easily kicks past you.
I mean, can I important that, guys?
If
I
you
mean, we
roll-
never used them.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Well, I don't know what we're doing today, but other than
It's
that,
a 10. Like,
Yeah, it's a 10. It's not the best.
If it's better than what you got.
Yeah, I got a 4, so it'd bring my 14 up to a 20. Good.
I mean, I don't care if they ever
Alright.
okay.
It's better to use it than waste it. So
Yep. All right, so I'll use the portent.
to make it a 20.
Yep.
You,
Still not enough.
It's not enough. Got a 23.
Damn.
You do manage to get one hand around its back leg briefly, and trip it up a little bit, but it yanks it out and just sprints onwards.
Can I respond by trying to hurl a javelin at it and hit it after it went trip?
Yes.
Reed, give it with the kunai with chain.
Drag it back.
That's a 29 to hit.
Good enough. It arches through there and it manages to just catch it in the haunch. Sort of burying itself in and drawing blood before the rushing stag running through the trees. Basically, it doesn't snap it off, but as it runs through the trees, the javelin is pulled free from it as it sprints onwards. You can see splashes of blood in the snow as it rushes away.
We can pursue it now.
Yeah, good shot.
Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna pursue it then.
Right.
Yeah, I will pursue as well.
The stag is in full sprint at this point. It has a speed of 120 feet, essentially. As it continues rushing, but that's okay. Go ahead and give me a survival check with advantage.
Both?
Everyone or just Henley?
Technically,
since
everyone.
He's the hunter.
Well, Henley can do it as
25.
the main hunter.
Yes, he can.
There is blood on the snow, but it's not vast quantities of blood. It is not like there's some sort of huge spurt and a constant stream. You're able to pick up a splotch of blood here, splotch of blood on a trunk there. Enough that you can see very I wouldn't say very easily, relatively easily, the trail itself, and it's moving fast. And for a while, you're not sure if you'd be able to catch it, but you can see its pace is slowing. The blood is getting a little bit more prevalent and common.
Does it look like it's because it's hurt, or because it's just like less freaked?
You suspect it's because it's hurt, with
Okay.
the increasing amount of blood. And soon you can hear it, panting heavily in front of you. Actually turned to face nervously the direction that you're coming in. You can see its horns are leveled. It is at full attention. Clearly aggressive at this point. You can see its blood sort of runs down its hind leg, dripping in the snow beneath it. As you can see, in its agitated state, it paws at the snow, sort of kicking it up. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Oh my god. Stumpy.
A 4.
11.
As you approach Henley, its eyes lock onto you, and it doesn't run, it actually lowers its head and just angrily charges at you. With sort of glittering rage. You're surprised by the amount of basically ground it can cover even now, despite its relatively hurt state. It does what an animal does, a wounded beast. Absolutely charging at you as fast as it can, trying to ram you and use its charge attack. But
I'd like to try and charge the intercept if I can.
you can try to jump in front of him.
Alright.
Regardless, it is going to be a 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
Well, if he's jumping in front of you, I'll allow it to
Yeah,
hit
that'll
him
hit
instead.
me, but I can use my... Where the fuck is it? Where's my reaction? Stone's Endurance has reaction reduced damage by 1d12 plus 2.
That's probably useful. You see that it
5.
It will be 14 points of damage.
Alright, so I take 9 of that.
And make a strength saving throw.
Not the strength
No.
saving throw.
I'm good at those. Wow, even with a 2, I got a 12.
And it yeets you 20 feet to the side.
Jesus Christ.
He's dead, Jim.
This is a...
Is it next to me now?
Yes, and now it's sort of with snorting breath, leveling its horns towards you. Obviously, it's gone, but it's now basically within 10 feet of you. And like I said, this is a huge beast. It is massive.
I'm gonna
That's a
try.
huge bitch.
I'm gonna charge and try stab it in the throat.
All right. I'm ready for Reed off the top rope. It's out of
A
nowhere.
19 for the first hit.
My god.
That'll hit.
Fuck, go.
23 for the second hit,
Yeah.
and a 15 for the third hit.
Those all 3 hit.
Okay. The first one do 6 damage.
Yeah.
Second one do 6 damage.
God damn.
Keep the 6
The
rolling.
third one do 11 damage.
Okay.
Wait, no, that's an offhand, so it'll do 8 damage, I believe.
All right.
No, I got 2 up and fighting now. It is 11 damage. My bad.
All right. You open up wounds across it as it howls in pain. Still standing. But you can see now with terrible wounds opening it. Reed,
Yep.
what would you like to do? You've been following behind.
Well, so it's pretty wounded right now, right?
Heavily wounded,
Is
yes.
it still Is it still charging, or is it trying to charge?
It's already done its charge attack. It's not its turn, technically.
Okay. All right. Oh, we'll just. I don't want to bruise it or anything. Obviously, that wouldn't be good.
It's
I know that's a
tenderizing.
weird thing to say.
Tenderize the meat.
Can I ghost chain dart and save my action to try to pull it? Well, no, I can't.
That thing will rip you away.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Alright,
you,
we'll just
you
swing.
saw that thing just yeet my ass. I'm fucking like 4 times your size.
We'll just swing the kunai at it. That's a 14.
That will hit. Then, I mean, it's definitely not armored.
Plus 5. 15.
Alright. The ghost chain dart lashes out.
Oh no, that was the kunai with
The
chain.
kunai lashes out, burying itself deep in the neck of the elk as that's enough. As it sort of rears up, it turns to dart away, but it only makes about 10 feet before it just crashes into the snow. Laying on its side, it's breathing heavy and ragged, as you can see there is sort of blood beginning to pool beneath it.
Is it its turn? Our turn?
You can go now. You were out of combat now. I just
Oh,
need
so,
you to
like,
do
it's-
40 points.
Yeah,
of
if it would
damage
be
total.
getting to the end, I would defer to Henley.
It's not fighting back anymore, right?
Nope, it's down.
I'm
And I was just
gonna
in pain.
walk up to it and I'm gonna like pet its head and like calm it down.
Salt
think
the
of it.
wounds.
And I'm gonna tell it it fought bravely and I'm just gonna
You
slit its
can
throat.
roll a nature check for me.
A 10.
Well, I'll do this with advantage because
22.
This is your home.
That's a 22 then.
This is a proud and giant stag. You know that they're actually highly intelligent and capable of understanding generally Sylvan and Elvish and Common. So you speak to it and calm it down as it sort of slowly takes in its last ragged breaths. Eventually, just stops breathing.
I'm gonna pick him up and I'm gonna carry him back.
I'll give him a hand with that. Since she's a big old bitch.
Yeah.
Or he's a big old bitch.
Between the two of you, it's not too hard to carry the great stag. It's a prize indeed, one to be proud of. You certainly know that if this had been brought into your village, it would have been worthy of a story or two, to say the least. As you take it back, slowly making your way back to the airship, the Skyweaver, you find that you actually chased it quite a long way, and it takes a little while to get back, so it's maybe mid to late morning whenever you return, the sun already beginning to rise near its zenith above you. You can see, at this point, the Skyweaver has largely been de-iced, and what ice is left is slowly starting to melt. The fire continues to be stoked quite high, as you can see nearby Adelaide and Ito sort of stand at the ready, as she actually has been practicing. At her decree, she asked Ito to stand still so she could practice throwing like axes at him, like throwing weapons, which did not go over particularly well, as he probably didn't agree. You can see everything is pretty fine. most part, as you return with your fresh catch.
She chooses
Oh.
to
Yeah.
roll like a 6 to hit me.
As I walk into town, I look at Croco and say, "Don't worry, it wasn't a druid."
Great.
And then
tell.
I'm gonna look at Croco and say his name was Fred.
The most druidic name, Fred.
Everyone knows that druid flesh is the most delicious of fleshes.
What
I
if you
don't know.
don't
I
have
don't think
flesh?
you want to eat my flesh.
It all tastes like chicken.
Frederick Durnshire of the Durnshire Druids.
While they were hunting and things, I kind of wanted to, before they arrive at noon, if they arrive at noon, I kind of wanted to talk with Alakul,
Yeah, you can take time to talk.
just to kind of go over, what exactly we need to be careful of what we say.
Do you
You
mind
know?
if his road crew tags along? Because the Thrycreen are following pretty closely. They're a little bit unsettled and nervous. This
His groupies.
his groupies. Well, I mean, they're not always clingy, but after the crash, they're like a little bit like, we don't want to get too far away from him because he's supposed to. We're serving him, but he's also kind of protecting us.
Yeah.
They real quick, because this would pertain to this conversation. Are the moon elves smiled upon or frowned upon by the crashing tide? Since we're all in the same neighborhood.
Depends on the druid.
All right, cool. I'm gonna stay downstairs.
Understandable, but it
That's
might
all
be
I wanted to
best if we were all up front with everything about who we are and why we're here.
Yep.
Or at least why I'm here, who I'm traveling with, who
Well,
I
I mean-
consider to be an ally.
Are the
Maybe-
hostile ones like hostile to the point where they
Just
Yeah,
openly
shen you
attack.
away.
You've had your people have had problems before, butting up against the locals essentially. Moon elves have always viewed themselves as a little bit above, the common
Crazy.
rabble that lives in this region. So it's likely that they are not particularly viewed fondly. But
Okay,
it varies
well-
from druid to druid.
I'll be seen, not heard. That's it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like a woman should.
You say you're waiting for us,
It's-
or like if we get back in time?
You will get back in time. It's just
Okay.
but
Am I seriously gonna be able to say that without anybody saying anything?
I hope while you say that to me, Adelaide absolutely nails you in the destroys you.
nope. She calls him up
Right.
on his debt. You need to produce 150,000 gold pieces now.
Fun
Yeah.
fact: this is my airship.
No, it's Nipsey Brightbuckle's airship.
Angry Nipsey noises in the distance.
She built it.
Nipsey, I'm gonna need to borrow your airship.
All right, but it's gonna cost 150,000 gold pieces.
All right, deal.
She wants cash up front.
That is unfortunate.
She's not a fool. Knows not to let things out.
Bitch doesn't even let a fart out.
I mean, she will if Carrington asks. He's kind of into that
Oh
sort of
my-
thing.
Girls
Oh
don't.
my god.
Have you ever heard the echo of her farting inside of Carrington?
It's true.
Oh my god. Does the smell waft into the elemental engine and through the ship?
She likes the freaking.
Does it sound like a toddler playing with pots and pans?
She Dutch ovens herself inside Carrington.
No, it's
Oh
like
my
she's
God.
farting into a tuba. She presses the button on Carrington and changes the pitch.
It's like the bronze bull.
Jesus mother fucking Christ.
Carrington, where's
Can't you
Nipsey?
guys just be normal?
Oh.
Can't you guys just be normal?
All right. But to answer your question, Tommy, it depends on the druid. There's not been always great, but it's not like they're
Yeah.
all singularly focused on your family, but your family's kind of been assholes to people around everywhere.
Well, that's a real surprise.
Basically, what I want to talk with Alakul about is how we need to just be careful of what we say and how we say it, along with, at the same time, being straightforward and honest. Because at the end of the day, it is just
No,
we are trying to help here. We are
We-
trying to resolve this conflict.
I would like to not make any more enemies than we already have. So
We got
I
enough.
wholeheartedly agree.
Then, can you think of anything specific that we should say or mention? I'm just kind of trying to bounce things here, you know.
We should definitely mention our intent with the dragons, since I believe that was kind of hinted at anyway before.
Right.
I
The,
imagine they'll ask, but you know.
I think her name was I'm gonna make it up. I don't give a fuck anymore. Her name was Josephine.
That's
The
not
druid.
what it was. But...
Fuck you.
You should have been like, "Almighty DM, please, I'm poor
Would
of
you
knowledge."
like it to be
What is the name?
Josephine?
It was whatever name it was.
No, it can be Josephine.
I was just coming up with a name.
Josephine?
I mean, I'm fine with it being
Josephine.
Josephine.
It's a
Josephine.
very dwarf
Josephine.
druid.
It doesn't start with A, so it's good.
Please don't take my man, Joseph.
You said it was
Sweet
what?
Josephine, will you follow me home?
Was this the,
Yeah.
so was this the water Ganassi druid?
No,
it
she
was
was
a
a druid.
dwarf.
She was a druid. She was a dwarf.
There's a dwarf.
Dwarf, yes.
She was doing the basically parlor tricks, growing everyone's plants and things.
She's growing weed, bro.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the twin druids.
No, their names are. I don't even know how to say that. Luciar and Light Vera.
I was gonna say Jack and Jill by Adam
Jack and
Sandler.
Jill.
Hey, Luciel and Light Lyra.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I have in my notes here. Did you forget the name of the twins?
Yeah.
Colin hasn't taken a note in months.
Too busy
Speaking
taking
of which, you're
shots.
recording?
Obviously, we just need-
shots.
We just need to take that method from Beerfest. He was so drunk the last time, we just need to get him that drunk again, and he'll remember.
That's a dangerous game.
If you want to hear it 10 times more of these nuts jokes, sure.
We don't need these nuts jokes, Tommy.
We are these nuts.
I think you're as dependent on them as you are alcohol.
Do you think
To be
we're
honest.
that weak-willed, Tommy?
All right. But what
Yes.
do you think of Ligma?
Who the hell is Steve Jobs?
All right. Did you know that what's his name? Jeffrey Dahmer's clown personality was Pogo?
Who the hell is
Did you just
Jeffrey
say
Dahmer?
Jeffrey Dahmer?
Nobody say anything. It's a trap.
Oh wait, no. I said what's his name? The one that was the crazy clown man.
Oh
You're
my
thinking
God.
of
Wayne Gacy.
John Wayne Gacy.
I need to say, but I need someone to say Pogo.
Who the hell is
Didn't
John
Dahmer,
Gacy?
didn't Dahmer also do that?
Pogo.
though?
Pogo, suck my dick, bitch.
Is that
That
where you
doesn't even
bounce
make
up and
sense,
down on
Colin.
top? Is it where you bounce up and down?
He said, "Suck my
spring.
dick." Are you bouncing while you're sucking the dick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ride pogo sticks while you do it.
Oh my, that sounds dangerous.
That's
Sounds-
fucking impressive as hell.
It really is. That's some Cirque du Soleil shit right there.
I don't know if you've ever seen Circus Soleil, but they don't do that there.
So they just bounce. So you're like standing on a platform, and they bounce up to you. Just
That's
give a quick,
part of what
and they go back down
Cirque
and
du
come back
Soleil
up. and
is.
just-
Yeah. They outlawed that when they outlawed block parties where people would do the Charleston until they died.
Yeah, but are they
Same
gonna
dangerous
outlaw the
thing.
blockchain?
Now, see what they do is they bounce up and they hit your dick, and then it like doings like the door stopper thing.
All right. Guess who got a 30 on their stealth check?
Mom?
I did.
the druids as they as time progresses forward.
Well, guess what, Colin?
What?
Guess you got a 9 on perception.
Womp.
Perception.
Oh, come on, Alicool, you were our only hope.
Was actually, and I failed because I only rolled a 20. You're
Oh my
welcome.
God.
Damn, I got.
All right, well,
24
get your good rolls out the way.
I mean, that's not a good roll
got
for me.
7.
That's literally a 6 and a 1.
All right. After you've returned to the camp and talked about what you should do with the possibly the druids coming up and what you should say, and you've had a chance to start dressing the stag down, and you can see that the Skyweaver has been cleared mostly of ice, and Ito and Adelaide continue to spar. You're actually quite surprised as whenever you sort of begin looking around, you can see there's an ever-increasing number of animals that are surrounding the camp. You can see that there are
Strange.
several large owls perched on the balloon over the Skyweaver as Nipsey sort of nervously looks at it and says, I hope they don't put a hole in it. You can see there are many squirrels and even a single badger that are now sort of making their way almost circularly around the camp. You didn't even notice them as they got in position. Each of them slowly watching. You know exactly what's going on. Clearly these are druids in wild-shaped form, having all come out. A retinue of sorts, and likely a guard, just in case. And this is like this for maybe 15-20 minutes where these animals are all sort of circle around. Before, finally, mercifully, from the tree line walks what appears to be the large Goliath. Followed closely behind the Goliath, what appears to be a woman. She has skin that is very slightly blue tinged. She has long blonde hair that descends down her back and over her face. She has like hair. Sort of covers one side of her face. She wears a very long coat, going down to her heels, and the collar of it rising up as a high collar that goes up to her cheekbones. It's lined in what appears to be white fur of some sort, probably wolf fur, made of dark, almost black leather.
Does she look like a Runa?
She does not.
Okay.
It's not
Racism avoided.
I've never seen her. I don't think I've ever seen another moon elf, so I don't know.
Not an elf. Different color than Aruna too. Aruna's very purpley. This is just a light blue. Vividly sort of blue eyes. Like I said, this long-sleeved, long coat with a high collar. It almost looks military. Looks like a Nazi coat, honestly, with the collar propped up.
You've chosen the wrong droids.
Beneath the coat, surprisingly not very. It's not like fur armor. It's actually like a well-cut dress that clings to her. This one also made of what appears to be as a rough sort of black leather. As she strides forward, around her neck you can see there is basically it looks like a necklace, but it's been roughly cut in half. You can see it glows very faintly with some sort of natural energy, but you can actually feel the wildfire totem sort of get a little bit warmer as it approaches, and maybe even Karakwi gets a little bit warmer. She's very, very attractive.
Oh my god.
As she eyes you, and you sort of stand there in silence, as her just absolutely frigid, cold eyes look at you for one moment, slightly downturned lips. And then she looks over at the Goliath, looks back at you, and says, I was rather hoping for something more impressive if they were going to offer aid.
I mean, she's not wrong.
You don't always get what you want.
Have you seen us?
I don't understand that
diplomatic.
reference. And I don't appreciate your use of pop culture from a different realm.
How you know it's from a different realm if you don't understand it?
Because
The
I
Rolling
am
Stones
the
are actually
best.
from Beaz Kumlahar.
I've seen the movie yesterday.
That's a good movie.
You know the best
I
part
saw a
about the
movie
movie
the other day.
yesterday?
Hmm.
Anna de Armas was in it.
It's true.
She's hot.
Stop riling me up, Colin, during this tense social scene.
He, in response to what she said about she was expecting more or better help, I tell her whether we
Water
are
in one hand, shit in the other. See which one fills up faster.
I say, regardless, we are here to help. I'm trying to test the waters here. I'm seeing how she responds before I go any more into anything else.
Stony silence.
Stone silence. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
How do you
What about
plan to
everyone
help
else?
us exactly?
There must be some sort of way to mediate or resolve the differences within the.
I'd say you could take
Crashing
that
tide.
airship of yours and crush my brother beneath it, but I don't think you'd get that far north before it got destroyed.
Probably not.
That's a really specific scenario. She just outlined off the cuff. Just pointing that out.
She's a very specific person.
I must be speaking with Lyra then. I kind of bow. It is an honor to meet you.
So, you've heard of me.
I have. Dilliman told me much about you and your brother.
I didn't know her that well. She mostly knew my father.
Have you heard the news that she has passed?
I had not, and that is unfortunate. It's a shame. If she was around, she might have known and been able to impress that my father's will would be for me to take the Crashing Tide totem in its entirety.
I know not of everything that has happened here between you and your brother. What has
Yes,
happened with your family?
an outsider sticking your business into ours, hoping that you can fix it like it's some sort of simple task.
I knew it would not be simple. And I know I am an outsider. And I apologize if that offends you. But I do come here regardless, if only for a greater purpose, for a greater need. Even you can't be ignorant of what's going on outside of the woods here. Rumblings west
Of course not.
from the north.
My brother was a bumpkin. He spent his entirety of his life in these woods. I was a bit more, well, worldly, I suppose you could say. I have contacts in other places. Weissenberg, Burleson. I've heard of the trials that face the interior, and yet I can do little to aid that or do anything about it until the trials that face me are directly in front of me are dealt with, you understand?
I do. Which is why I've come to try to help resolve that in the best way possible.
Huh. You don't think others have tried? What makes you special? Is it because you're not from here, you think an outsider's point of view will change things?
It is but one option.
I merely wish to take leadership of my people, to usher them into a world of prosperity.
Allow us to help.
Very well, if you can prove yourself.
Oh.
I want you to do something that will help not only the clans of druids, but everyone living in the Cold War. I want you to slay the 3 dragons that have terrorized this land for well over 2 centuries, that have stunted its growth, stolen its riches.
Fancy that. We
Was,
we were kind of planning on doing that anyway.
Do you say that out loud, Alakul?
Yeah.
Well, then we are of a singular track. And if you can do this, then I will consider you worthy of helping us.
This is a great task indeed.
And yet, a task that pales in comparison to convincing my foolish brother to relinquish his half of the totem.
If I may be so bold as to ask.
If we are to
What
be
has-
allies, I don't want there to be secrets between. Feel free to ask, and I will give you a truthful answer.
What's caused this conflict? I have asked many. None can give me a singular answer
My
or truth.
brother's stubbornness has caused it. He doesn't know the world at large. As I said, I traveled outside the Coldwood. I met people. I learned about a larger world. He stayed here, insular. He thinks that he can bend off change, that all we need is to remain in our tight little knit groups, that we don't have to worry about the outside world. I think that is foolish indeed. My brother would have us retreat into the Coldwood, hide from this oncoming storm that presents itself, the one you speak of, the one that I have heard of. And while that is a tempting thing, I am of a different mind.
Then your brother would die slowly alone, then.
Perhaps, but it would be his choice. He would take that over dying quickly, amidst people he doesn't view as worth his time, worth nature's time. He does not trust outsiders. As I said, I don't either, at least initially. But you can prove yourself to.
I kind of turn and look at everyone. What seems to be the general mood for everyone that's here
I mean,
with us.
I need to slay the dragons.
Those gonna be some badass trophies to bring to your family.
I'm not bringing my family in for me.
Oh,
I'm
I
up
mean-
to the challenge.
It's like killing dragons gets me leeway for what I want to. So
We've
That
run
is-
into
that
a lot
is-
of dragons lately. We haven't really killed many of them, so might as well.
Bruce.
I'm up for it.
I very
Always
much like
welcome the
that
challenge.
picture, Colin. That's a good one. Good one.
Damn, that is imagine that, but even less fiery and even more stone face. Christ. If that is what it takes for you to consider us even able to help, then we agree to this task. We only ask that you tell us where to find them and what we can expect.
Very well. I have nothing to lose. Should you go up there and kill them, win for me. Should you go up there and get yourself killed, I lose nothing at all. She turns and looks at you, Henley, and she looks at you, Aruna, and she says,
You okay?
"You're from here, aren't you, Moon Elf?"
Yeah.
"And you as well.
Yep.
You have that bearing. No doubt you're familiar with the Three Sisters, great waterfalls that feed this very river.
I am.
The eldest sister, the largest of the waterfalls. The center one. At its base behind it there is a cave. We do not go near it. My brother does not go near it. We give it a wide berth, for it is the hunting grounds of those three dragons."
Okay, you're speaking my language.
I mean, okay. So to a degree, Henley, they're animals, but also, is there anything that causes them to infight? Do they turmoil with each other?
Greed.
Anything?
They are greedy. As I said, they steal this region's wealth, hoard it in their caves. Carts of goods sent from the south to aid people, luxuries, silks and linens, gold. They're so greedy, one time they even took an entire cart full of smoked fish just because they wanted it. And their greed grows ever larger as their size grows.
How come they haven't messed with us then?
They
What?
literally just did.
No, I mean my people.
And your people are?
I don't think we really have a name. I don't know how to describe it.
Oh.
We're from around here. There's a village. It's about a few days out.
So not large enough to be important. Saying.
I suppose, but you would still think the dragons would come fuck with us.
Maybe they have, and you just don't know it or understand it. I don't suppose you're at the peak of your village, are you?
Like hierarchical wise?
Do you run things there?
No, obviously not. I'm right here.
Obviously not. Your family?
Not currently.
Have they often run this place in the past? at least before you were born.
Yeah.
Perhaps you should ask them about the great dragons and just what your people are willing to do to avoid their ire.
Okay, I'll do that.
I think you'd be surprised, maybe a little bit disappointed.
I might, yeah. What about you, Reno? Do you guys deal with the dragons?
Hey, Colin, is my dad up to sacrificing virgins to the dragon?
Your dad can pretty easily avoid the dragons. Even
I
so,
figured.
he's been known to, your family's been known to offer a, occasional enchanted item.
Okay. Well, we mostly stay hidden through magical means more than anything. Takes a lot of effort.
Okay.
They hide in the, Feywild. But so we are in agreement then.
I believe so.
Deal with these
Cody
dragons.
Cody is AFK, by the way.
Deal with these 3 beasts, which certainly seem capable of doing, no doubt. Otherwise, you would turn it down. And we will have an accord. I will allow you to aid me in dealing with my brother.
It's a deal.
Good. And should you aid me in dealing with my brother, in return I can offer whatever aid I can muster for this encroaching army that seems to want so badly to steal the Central Plains. She walks forward, and extends her hand, and you can see all of the animals kind of like are a little bit on edge as they watch.
I imagine Karakwa takes her hand, but again, he's not here.
Karakwa reaches out, and scaly, like green hand meets pale blue hand, as they clasp wrists, and you can see their talismans reach out towards each other, bump together, and scissor each other. Just like nature intended. But there is a faint spark, almost like an energy that passes between the two, as they step back and she nods her head. I will leave with you one of my druids, a guide to help you.
Thank you.
She motions towards the Goliath.
Ooh, buddy. I get a friend.
You can take him. He has been around for a long time. Served dutifully beneath my father. Has proven loyal. Decades. He will aid you in finding these dragons. As she pats the Goliath on the back, turns and walks away, and you can see several of the animals quickly follow as the Goliath sort of turns to you, massive form towering over you, says, are you gonna eat that? As he points to the elk, or the stag.
Yeah, yes, we're gonna eat that.
I mean, can I have some? I can have some, yeah?
Yeah, that's fine. I share.
That's good. I'm starving. Haven't eaten since, a couple days.
Well, I guess get Bruce and see how he wants to cook it.
All right.
Sorry, the
Fresh
dog
meat.
was acting weird.
You shook hands with the druid and made an agreement.
Okay. She didn't say anything else like specific about the agreement, right?
I don't know when you left, so I don't know what you heard.
Okay. Then no. Then no.
Like I said, nothing specific. Deal with the dragons, and then she's be willing to hear you out.
The Goliath druid is sticking with us.
The
for a
Goliath
little
druid
bit.
is sticking with you.
Is this the one that was talking with you last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the light of day, he sort of seems a little bit less imposing. He's big, to be sure, but without the ominous shadows all around him. He actually has a pretty mirthful face and sort of wide eyes. A little bit of a smile, as he's not trying to be quite so intimidating, as he's merely motioned to the stag and be like, "So, we're gonna eat that, yeah?" Expressing quite a bit of hunger.
I guess help us prepare it.
Sure. I can do that. Hunted
And
a
I
fair
like-
share of wild game in my day, that's for sure.
I like take a couple of rocks and like earth meld them into stone knives, and like hand one of them to him. And be like, all right, start cutting.
He just looks at it and nods his head. Right. He pretty quickly pulls out his own blade, however, as he has a beautiful blade that's made of like black stone that glitters, obsidian of some
Ooh.
sort. As he begins basically carving into the animal, helping dress it, and he does a good job. So, I reckon I should introduce myself. My name is Hedwig. Hedwig, not Hedwig.
That would explain the owl, but yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Al,
get the
did you
joke.
hurt yourself? Well,
Oh,
I hope I
I
didn't
introduce myself.
scare you too much last night. I was being a little bit more intimidating than I needed to be, but, you know. Oh, kind of hoped to run you off, but when you stuck around, it seemed like a pretty decent idea. You seem to be made of sterner stuff than most of the people that head up around here. A lot of them, foreigners at least, they get a sight of someone towering above them, they take off running. Don't realize how harsh these cold woods can be. I suppose I'm doing them a favor, really.
Lee.
But he, nice enough. Like I said, in the light of day, he's a lot friendlier than he was at night. Helps you dress the deer down, and even is more than happy to help you sort of forage in the local area. Able to find a pretty nice little. There's like this faint root-like vegetable that is not common in the region. It vaguely resembles like a really like starchy potato, kind of. Doesn't really taste good, but it is certainly edible. Tough, but it has to be boiled pretty heavily. That sort of thing, as he helps forage. Talks a lot the whole time. His sort of grim demeanor gone.
I introduce his ass to M.
Hey, you're tall as hell. Yeah, and you're short. What are you gonna do about it? As M
Oh,
sort
boy,
of
M grows.
starts growing. You can transform too, huh? As all of a sudden, Hedwig turns into a massive, basically polar bear that towers above, nearly 12 feet tall, standing up. It's pretty good. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Can't do that. Can't do that one.
Shit.
A
It's
changeling
a
druid?
weird
Oh my God,
shape-shifting
it's
dick
cool.
measuring contest.
It's the only way.
I like this guy. Alright, Hedwig. You got, anything you need found out? As he looks around. Well, I don't reckon anybody's gonna be finding much of anything out here, but I like you. As in reverse to
Bob
his
Saget died.
more natural form.
Yeah, Bob Saget died.
Oh my
Apparently.
god, did he laugh
Oh,
too
no.
hard on America's Funniest Home Videos?
TMZ just posted it.
Are you more upset about that or the fact that Harambe was killed?
Did you guys hear about the tiger? Harambe too.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo?
But they saved Harambe's jizz, so they're gonna like get like
Did they really?
They
Yes,
did. We're gonna
Harambe
get
has
2
frozen.
Harambes.
He's
We're gonna get
got
2
some
Harambes.
frozen baby juice.
If only we did that with every guy that was shot in unintentionally. We saved some of his eggs.
Max,
all
I'm not
correct.
gonna lie. That's a kink you've got.
That's weird.
It's pretty
So-
niche.
Did you just say we saved some of his eggs?
Her
No, he
eggs.
said jizz.
Imagine that though.
Alright. He is friendly enough as his hulking form slowly shrinks down, but he says, I can't do that too many times, so yeah. Probably a waste, but it was pretty impressive, right?
I'm sure you'll get along fine.
Certainly got the
Just
point.
leave.
Yeah, certainly got the point across.
Yeah.
Alright,
Alright.
but he turns to you, Karakwa. I want to hear all about the Wildfire clans.
What would you like to know?
This is a trick.
Tenets, beliefs, ceremonies.
Cloacas.
It's interesting to see how
Oh
different.
no!
You'd be surprised how different the Druids' clans can be. All singularly serving nature, to be sure, but well,
It's very interesting you say that. I spent so long also with the Zephyrs that I guess I didn't really see to compare how we were different and the same at the same time.
well. From what I heard, I did not spend much time with the Howling Zephyr, but I did serve Lyra's father, for a long time, and I did know of her. Met her a time or two. She was well traveled, that one. I suppose when the winds can take you wherever you want. I think that's where, well, Lyra got her wanderlust to an extent. She was always the more outgoing of pair. So sure that there is something wonderful outside the cold wood just waiting for her. But I suppose when you're that age, that formative, the world seems so exciting. When you get to be my age, you just want to stay home, I suppose.
If it were up to me, I would be.
Well, he sits and he talks with you. Talks to you about. He seems particularly interested in basically the night of your ascension, essentially. You sort of remember it, the bonfire ceremony, basically. You remember
Was
that? Remember that, Cody?
it was beautiful. It was extraordinary. But also sad. The old herald who was before me. It feels strange having to take that title at such a young age from someone who was so old and learned.
at least at the end of the day, there was a ceremony that made it clear.
What's happened with the twins? Did the primal elements just not... Was it split between them?
Their father, rest his soul, was, he's not young when he died. She tells you that she wants those dragons killed just because they're hurting the region, but she's got a vendetta. That's to be sure. They're the reason he's dead. He killed him, ambushed him in the... just outside the elder sister, when he was hoping to try to deal with him.
Outside of the elder sister?
Yeah,
Hey,
that's the middle. That's the middle.
Oh, the waterfall, right, right.
I should go to skedaddle. I'll see y'all guys later.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
Later.
Are we done?
No,
No.
Max is trying to
No.
leave.
Max has to leave.
I know you're excited for it to be done, Connor, you bastard.
Right.
I was just using the map.
Don't lie, we saw the excitement in your eyes.
I guess they're at that point. I mean, they're both gifted in different ways, I suppose you could say. And
It's
I
just
guess
strange to
both
think of.
had claim to it. And so who knows why
Ito.
people are the way that they are. But Lyra was always, I would say she was less in touch with nature, less powerful, probably, but always she was better at a big picture. You know what I'm saying?
I understand.
Less isolated, good with people, not just other druids. In her own way, I suppose you could say. Luciel was... he was a powerful druid, but isolationist, insular, abrasive.
Has me thinking. Ito. Fuck
Save-
up, dude.
It's not about Connor, he falls asleep.
Yeah, what?
I have a question for you. You
I
being
am
of...
half conscious.
Let's say that another kingdom were to have two people rightful inheritance to the throne. How would that be solved, do you think?
Well, one of them dies, usually.
Something on your door.
Nothing good, basically. You know how the lands sometimes have borders? Sometimes that's how that happens.
Not the best outcome, to say the least.
Out of character, for the record, the stuff that you've heard Ito talk about in terms of like policies and stuff on the Ile de Royhan, he's really weird compared to like the vast majority of Stalfrey.
Sure, but who else is of royalty that has a similar line of succession here in this group?
I mean, so the country of Stalreich is like, if I remember correctly, it's a grouping of feudalist fiefdoms that are all under a singular the banner of empire. Like Crooks Castle was one such fiefdom. The Ile de Royhan is one such fiefdom. the peasantry and whatnot, they report to the noble, and then the noble reports to the banner of empire.
Yeah, and as far as Cultwald goes, I don't know what it's like with Henley, but generally speaking, if you have an issue and want to supersede the leader or become the predominant family, it also ends in killing each other.
Understandable.
There's nothing that says they can't rule together, I imagine.
No. Historical precedent.
There's obviously animosity between the two.
Well,
I'm
I don't
not-
think Druid clans
This is-
beholden to Empire standards.
No, I'm
This is
obviously
why,
not.
This is
It's
why
just-
I fell asleep. I don't know if the solution that we want is going to be achievable here. Besides, can't you like outrank her? Or don't you have 3 of the Pokemon badges and she only has 1? Isn't that how that works?
I do have Abigail as an ally in this. I would hate to have to call upon her while she is still training and learning. But even then, I do not know if two
Perhaps-
of us.
Perhaps we should hear the brothers' side of it before we just go
Of
and
course.
slaughter.
Of course, I had no intentions of just doing so without knowing the situation fully.
Don't do
Also,
it.
no,
Kill her.
no offense to Abigail's wisdom, but I don't think they're going to listen to a child.
That
Um,
also,
we
Karak
know
was like
do we know the
technically
Goliath thing?
young too.
So
Hedwig.
as far as lizard
Hedwig,
folk
yeah.
and wisdom
Hedwig, are
goes,
you born and raised here? I'm assuming not.
Who? Hedwig?
Is
is
Hedwig
from
born
here.
and raised here?
Yes.
Yeah, he served the former leader.
Well, I mean, yeah, but has he always been here?
Yes. We're up in the mountains.
So, what's the deal? Dad kicked it, and these two are just squabbling.
Dad kicked it. Killed, like I said, found out he elucidated that it was indeed. Dad died younger than expected. Killed by the dragons because he was trying to deal with them. Both had equal claim, essentially, even though brother is probably the more powerful druid from strictly a druidic power sense. Sister is still a powerful druid, but has more worldly experience, having traveled outside of the Coldwood and met people.
So
She's much better with people.
Where do the dragons come to play?
They killed the
They
dad,
killed the dad,
Okay.
and the dragons
and
literally.
they're also
terrorized
fucking
it.
up the region.
So they just want vengeance on the dragons and the problem to be removed. Got it. Okay.
Yes, it is a means. It is a means to an end, and it has multiple reasons why she wants it. Like I said,
There's a really easy solution for this. Are these two young? Are they young? Are they stupid?
the inheritors, they
Yeah.
are not young. They're probably in their 30s, maybe late 20s.
The easiest way to do this with the least amount of bloodshed would be you convince one of them to come with us and let them die.
What if they don't die?
That's why I was sleeping through this conversation. This is gonna get really ugly before it gets better.
My whole family just rules together. I don't know why you guys can't just rule side by side.
Right.
I'm not saying you can. I'm just saying that it sounds like they can.
Even in this situation, why don't we just try to rectify their relationship rather than just kind of kill one or usurp one?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we are a little of political assassination, like luring someone to their death.
Not
If anything, I was trying to leaving one to die might just cause distrust in the other one, because if we let one of them die, why wouldn't we let the other one?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's a.
I will add that the woman, Lyra, has made some, at least, overtures that she would be willing to help with this oncoming problem of the King of Black Everfrost, while her brother is more isolationist.
Okay. So I think that the before we think of political assassination, we have Henley's people to check up on, and then I'm attempting to work with mine. So if we get a hunting party, essentially, it'll be a lot easier than us going to slay a bunch of dragons by ourselves. So I mean, like, Henley, if you're anything to look at, how strong are like the rest of your people?
Well, I haven't seen them in years, but I don't think we've ever fought a dragon before. But we fight. I mean, we hunt the ghost of powerful animals. So like, fairly, I would assume. I don't think I can compare it to because I've never seen them fight like things other than the beast we hunt.
Well, my point is, and I apologize, Colin, if you already covered this because my kid was talking to me. My point is that it's not necessarily that they can't rule together; it's that these two seem that they can.
I understand that position. I'm just saying that it seems like it makes more sense to try to rectify it before we do anything else. Because even if they rule together begrudgingly, it's still probably better than killing one of them.
Okay, so I think we'll go talk to Henley's people, talk to my people. Worry about the dragons, and then worry about bringing them together afterward.
True. I mean, Henley's people can fight. They can shove their head up my ass and fight for air.
True. Also, technically, I can teleport back to the capital and bring people from the capital to the airship as a staging ground, technically. If we wanted to go, like, full-on dragon hunting party.
I think you should teleport to the capital.
No, that's a trap.
Teleport to the capital and it's just getting bombarded and then I'm stuck.
Klaus has burned the whole thing down in your absence.
Aruna's girlfriend shows up and says, "Aruna, I'm so glad you're here."
Everything's fine.
Well, that's
what does Hedwig want? Is it Hedwig or Hedwig?
Hedwig with an I-C-K.
He literally introduced himself as Hedwig, not Hedwig.
But see, since he said that, I was thinking, shit, his name's Hedwig, like the owl from Harry Potter, and that's why his name was that.
I think that was a joke.
He's made it clear he just wants stuff to go back to kind of normal. He's an old Goliath.
So,
Spry
dragon slaying
and quite cheerful, but
what does Hedwig think about all this? Obviously, he's not happy with the situation. None of the other druids I've talked with are happy with the situation. I tell him about Josephine if he knows her. Do you know the dwarf druid Josephine?
Oh,
that was totally her name. I didn't just change her name.
Yeah. Haven't seen her in a long time, but I remember her. Yeah.
Is she, after the split, was she with the brother or the sister?
She was with Myra. Actually, I suppose you could say technically the majority of the druids are. Like I said, she's got away with people, but no, it's not just the most people necessarily decides that.
I assume that she's not alone when she just wants this conflict to be over and for these siblings to reconcile their differences.
Of course not. We're all, like I said, everyone wants things to go just back to normal, or at least what they used to be, or as close as possible.
What do you think it would take for it to happen? Just you who have lived here, who have seen the split happen, who was here before. What do you think would make it happen?
I mean, short of one of them getting killed, I think at the end of the day, they'd have to talk to their father somehow.
Oh boy. That's what I was gonna say, actually.
I don't think
What
you're
if
gonna
we could
find
make
much
that
in
happen?
terms of remnants of him.
Just to double check real quick, are there any other siblings?
No, just
Any other claimants? No.
nope, just two.
And is it a formalized throne, or is it just a ruling party?
It's not like a throne or anything like that. It is
The chief druid?
basically the power is supposed to funnel from one person to the next. In this case, it is power funneled to two. For some reason.
This is why
It's
you've
not.
always
Now I know it's not probably the same everywhere, but was it inherited? Like you're next in line for succession because you're the son or daughter
No.
of the last person? It's
No.
just it's random, like it
It
is.
is
No,
for
it's,
the most.
it's
really
selected,
random.
isn't it?
No, it's not
Oh,
even
I
selected.
thought they had. Oh, I thought they appointed their.
It's generally not
Well,
even a.
you're
necessarily
appointed via ceremony, I would assume. Like Karakwa was.
Karakwa was appointed via
Like Abigail was.
via ceremony, but it wasn't. Karakwa's ceremony wasn't just like a rubber stamp. Like, oh, we know it's going to be Karakwa. Here's the ceremony. It was more to it than that.
Okay. Alright.
You know the
you
scene
got?
in The Giver when
Oh,
they're
boy.
everyone's receiving their jobs when they
No, I
turn
read
12?
good book.
Huh?
What?
I didn't hear what you said.
He's being an
Okay,
ass. Don't worry
Good,
about
shut the fuck up.
You know
That's
that-
a server mute right there.
You know that book, The Giver, that has your mom in it because she's always giving somebody some head?
Gotcha.
That poor woman. I'm sorry, Connor. But that scene in The Giver where everyone's given the job and they find out what their job is in the society or whatever,
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of like that. I guess that's like a good way. It's like there's a ceremony for it and it's just kind of passed down.
Okay. So this is kind of metagamey, Cody.
Sure.
I know Alec Cool's all on visions. How individual, like the Druid clans, like dreams, prophecy, so on.
I'm sure there are some who specialize in that, but what
Okay.
Alakul has is also way more specific.
So
Yeah. Mine is specific to Thrycreen.
okay, so what I am saying here, this is slightly subterfuge, more than anything. I can implant you as whoever I want in people's dreams.
Gonna put a pin in that shit because that sounds great.
Which,
That's a nuclear option, but no.
where it's a nuclear option, but even if you were to appear as
Can you put
As-
one person in it?
yeah, be one person at a time.
Okay.
Okay, so
What if we convince them that if they don't work together, they're doomed
Connor,
by way of dreams?
Connor.
What?
Shut the fuck up. Let Tommy speak.
so you can basically shape environments, landscapes, objects, etc. You have a
You
like
cut
words
out.
you can speak. Oh, so you can just shape the dream completely. So even if for a moment you were their dad in some way, shape, or form, and it simply ask them why they're fighting, or something like that, that might garner information or get something started.
Okay. The
Or
other
we
thing,
can do something like that.
the other thing I was gonna ask, because Hedwig said that you'd probably not find any remnants of their father
We
left.
could speak with dead also. If that's
I
what
was
you're
gonna say, as someone who doesn't know Speak with Dead, what is required to use Speak with Dead?
It has to be has to be capable. I think because if I remember correctly, it has to be capable of speech. You can't have a throat.
I think it's only yes and no answers.
Yeah.
Well, what I mean
Even
is,
though that's,
do
even though
you-
that's metagaming.
what I mean by that is, do you need to have like their dead body?
I think you would need
I
at
don't
least
think
the skull.
You are thinking of a different spell, which is not called seance, but it's very similar to that as a concept.
So speak with
There's
dead.
like
We have to have a corpse.
commune with dead or something.
Okay. Is there any way that we can realistically try to speak to the father? Using some kind of possession that used to be his, like an item that belonged to him. Like I'm thinking, I'm also mitigating here, but Karakwa also kind of asking, since Hedwig mentioned that. Well,
You're not mitigating.
how would
You're
we?
crowdsourcing an idea.
I mean, how can we do that? I'm looking to help for others who are probably more learned to that.
There's seriously not a seance
Arena
spell.
being a
So-
wizard,
Yeah.
being a cleric and a dream druid, like shit.
So I
Even being a
have-
paladin.
I have the spell scroll for Speak with Dead from the Redeemer's Vault. So we have that as the basis. And then we have scrying and teleportation and everything and dream. So possibly with DM allowing, we could finagle something to, bring him
I
back
can-
temporarily or cross over to him.
I also have the spell funeral rite, which is very antithetical to what this is, but the idea is very similar. Is there seriously not a seance spell? That's wild. It's really weird. Thanks, wizard.
I don't want you talking with my dead.
Is speak with dead literally the only way to do it?
I
Wow.
could have sworn there was
I mean-
other ways.
I mean, short of resurrecting him, I don't think.
I mean, you could also, whatchamacallit, use some sort of divine intervention.
Divine intervention.
Yeah, like if
Cast
you
with that.
pray, it might let you do it. I mean, Lou has a death god. Maybe he can. I mean, Reed has a death god. Maybe he can bring him to us.
Or we could go to Baba Yaga.
Have we
That
not?
seems like an idea we should
Oh,
Just so you
do.
know, my
Haven't
death
we
god
talked-
types believes the dead should stay dead.
Poor
Doesn't
fellow.
mean yeah, but
Poor
Have we
Alan
not
Cool already
talked with
owes a
the
week of
spirit?
service to her.
Have we not talked with the spirit or a ghost before?
no, none of us.
So it's
I don't
not
think we
really
have.
like. Well, no, we
We
talked
have, but
to.
there's been
Yeah,
a
no,
dead
you-
corpse that
Yeah, we
nearby.
have, but it's usually like, communicating with someone before we kill them or they kill us.
They're lingering spirit in that case.
There's
Now, I
the
don't think we've ever used Speak
yeah.
with Dead.
Redeemer's
so-
Vault.
Yeah, I was say Redeemer's Vault, and then the chained fellow in the basement of the Cold Forge. We're both he was a trap spirit, so we have
Oh, yeah,
communicated with
okay.
dead. Which
So-
unfortunately, well, we used his favor because man, would this be the time for that favor? But
That was, But we have communicated, but not as a means of like seeking a specific one out and then asking it, but more as it was a spirit or something trapped here. I'm just trying to think of something.
I think with the basis of possibly speak with dead, and enough of us putting spell slots into it, we might be able to do something. Remember, Colin seems to like creative answers, so I think maybe between the bunch of us, we might be able to do something.
Between the bunch of us.
I mean,
Spellcasters unite.
I mean,
Is-
I know that the blurring between the spiritual world and our
Yeah.
world, it is really blurry when the comet passes, but I don't know how long until that is. Also, I don't think we have that time.
Yeah.
We
I don't
could, or we con them into it.
Colin, is my home more
Immediately
closely
ignored.
related?
Let's turn it into Ocean's 11. Let's go.
Is it more what like related?
Is like the area between the spirit and physical realm thinner where I live?
Yeah,
I don't know.
not really.
Okay, I didn't know if that played into why we could do what we do.
You're in
There you
you're in tune with it to be sure. It's not necessarily thinner, but your people might be a little bit better at it.
Yeah, we could ask where I live. Maybe they'll know a way to communicate with them.
Yeah, I mean, if we do go the con route, clear option, we have Drew, and we know her, so I could send you to her. Brilliant idea, I say. I mean,
I'm gonna
if,
take this- Go ahead.
We can check every skull in the dragon's lair.
Christ.
It'd just take a while.
Yeah, that'll work out.
Oh, yeah, actually, how freshly dead is he?
Well, it's been a while.
Been a while.
It's been
Been
a
a
while.
while.
Is there like a shrine or something? Like some kind of memorial or whatever for him? I mean, I imagine if they didn't, like, weren't able to recover the body,
Oh, wife.
they could put something there.
Do you have a spouse?
You, you did not ask.
He did not ask, or we did not ask.
Y'all did not
I will
ask.
ask Hedwig.
Well,
Does
yeah,
he
we're
have-
asking.
Did he have a mate?
She died many years before him, unfortunately.
Is there a crypt?
She's entombed as all of our people
God
are.
damn.
Simple rock cairns in the woods. Returning
That
to
sounds
nature.
like
Was
that sounds like that might be a good place to check
Does-
though.
does their father have?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did
Any kind
they
of
recover
burial?
the body?
The body was
Yeah.
not
There's
recovered in
nothing
his
left.
case.
Yeah, was there any like memorial built regardless?
No.
That-
As I said, it is... The memory of our people is all around us. You see the trees
Yeah.
and the animals and nature.
That is not surprising. This is very rare for
At the end,
memorials to be made for earthly remains.
at the end, we all return to this. As he sort of motions around him, back to the earth.
There is one thing. Their necklaces. The totems themselves. Although I doubt Lyra or Lyria. Oh my god, I can't say his name.
Okay.
What is his name? How do you say it? Luciar? Or Colin?
Say what?
How do you say it? Luciar?
Luciel?
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 Okay, it's like French. God damn it. I do not believe
I
Lyra
think it
or
was-
Lucier would
I know his friend.
too willing to let us be a hold of it, if only because I know I would not be so willing.
Colin, if I'm wrong, but druids and clerics can both change their prepared spells per long rest, right?
Yes.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
I need to go check my spells then.
I
Because they're normally not spells that I would ever want to switch, but
also
in this case in particular,
we it's just flown right over our heads. We have fucking Madame Vestia, dude. Literally
but you
go ask
normally
Vestia.
need-
I actually thought that a while ago, but I really don't want to go that route.
why?
Because last time we had to fight beholders.
I mean,
Sometimes things can... She can pull stuff back from her ethereal jaunts.
like,
That's Colin saying, go ahead, do it.
I mean, you absolutely can do it. She's there for a reason, to be used, not in a weird way, but...
What if we want to do it in a weird way?
I can
well, she
use
might
her
be into
soul.
it.
We could actually hang on. We could just talk to Madame.
It's
Vestia.
important. Madame
That's what I
Vestia
said.
is a very attractive human female. She looks like...
Is she human?
Say what? She's human. Yeah,
Is she
she's human. That's the
human? I
thing.
was like,
She's
yeah.
human, but the thing is, she's like 100 years old, but she remains young and very attractive.
It's all makeup.
The dream.
That was one of
Yeah.
the weird. That was one of the weird things about her when you met her.
Well, okay. I mean, if we ask her to take the venture, we'll be here to clean up. It's not. But so last time they brought something back, it was from like the realm of a god, essentially. This is just a person, you know. I don't think the risk is nearly as great. Gay silence.
I mean,
I'm both
thinking about
reading my
this.
spells and thinking of things I can change my spells into with the Ring of the Grammarian, so you're gonna have to give me in particular. There's a lot of
we're
fucking
not
words, bro.
trying to raise the dead using the Ring of the Grammarian.
Speak with lead.
No.
No,
Me?
flesh
Speak
into
with
scone.
mead.
Flesh into scone.
Start eating, boys.
Speak with mead. You must ask the beer.
Beer isn't mead. Mead is not
I don't
beer.
care.
You fuck.
Give me the ring, and I'll turn dream into cream.
Just wait.
Oh no.
Just
No,
wait till you find out about
you're
chill
never
touch.
getting the ring now, bud.
Damn it.
Just wait till you find out about chill
Oh,
touch.
God.
Oh,
no cream, no
Son of a
child
bitch.
touch. Those are banned.
Alright.
Alacool's the dream of the crop.
Oh man,
Jesus Christ.
fireball.
I'm gonna go get a beer.
Well, I think it's like 9 o'clock. It's 8:30, so
It is like
Yeah. We'll figure it out next time. It's fine.
I gotta go
I think
pee.
I think we just talk to Vestia next time, and then we have a group dragon slaying meeting because this is important.
Yeah, that's gonna take some time.
Plus, there's Henley's family. In
Yeah. We'll just have to come up
Yeah.
with a backup plan if we don't get help.
That's a good
cool with traveling with us for a bit of a non-dragon specific detour.
That's a good point though.
Is Hedwig cool traveling with us
He's
as we go on
specifically
some?
traveling with you to be a guide any guide that you need.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
What-
he seems pretty chill, thankfully.
Colin,
Is Henley's people gonna give us shit for potentially killing a dragon?
That's what we're talking about.
No.
Well, there's
They'll probably
also
like give you a high five. That's a pretty impressive fucking
Yeah,
kill.
they think that's badass.
Colin,
Yeah.
if I were to use locate object, could I do that for like his remains if I was close enough?
Maybe
It says describe or name an object that is familiar to you.
Like I said, I don't know how familiar you'd be with his body.
Yeah, no, that's why I was asking.
Listen, she was like, please don't.
So in other words, we dragon plan to have Henley's people hopefully and maybe Aruna people, and we will hit those places as we go while we plot to kill the dragons.
Is the plan to kill one dragon at a time?
I would hope so.
Or are we trying to get a group rate?
Connor, I'm pretty sure that
Already
if
hard enough to kill
possible, we're
one.
going to try and kill one at a time, but they live within spitting distance of one another, so I don't know how that's going to work.
They hunt as a pack, but they are greedy. So if we can come
Are
up with good
these are
enough,
white dragons?
yeah, if we come up with good enough
White
bait
dragons.
and we can separate them even temporarily. But imagine if we had like 10 more Henleys, right? And then we had like, I don't know, a couple wizards and shit. That's a lot of disintegrate.
You could go get your girlfriend.
That would be a lot.
Yes. But if Aruna family is in some agreement and is happier to have the dragons gone, they may lend support.
Well, TBA, teleporting us around the country is one thing. Getting us to help kill dragons is kind of, that might be out of her wheelhouse.
Yeah, we'll see.
Doodle-ba-ba-dow.
Good game, guys.
We're just gonna talk a bunch next time about plans.
All
within
we do
plans.
is that's all we do is fucking talk.
Tomorrow we plan.
Alright.
All right.
Plan for the plan.
Rick, feel free to send me crap about your family
Lou, feel
Okay,
and
I'll
your people.
come up with stuff.
I hope I will.
Rick, what do you want to do for dinner?
It doesn't matter.
I'm sad because you know what?
You want Flaming Amy's.
Or Cody, I'm sitting here. I
I
remember
won't do like
vividly
that.
describing the bonfire ceremony to you,
Yeah,
and I can't remember most of it.
I remember some details of it. Yeah.
I remember singing. I remember you saw it in the thing in the fire, but
Uh-huh.
that was also not a recorded
drums.
session, so I can't even look back at it. I can
Hell
tell
yeah.
I can tell you the day I told about it, but I did not go into detail on it.
Elden Ring is the most wish-listed game on Steam.
Good.
Jesus Christ.
I saw a
That's
post
crazy.
that was basically like like some like.
Man, I hope it's good. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle it. If it's
All right,
bad.
that's good enough. We'll figure it out next week. Continue Dragon Hunting.